Good morning, everybody. I think everything's working, but if not, then that's on me. Let's see. Sorry about that. And it's moved, of course it has. Please let me know. There we go. Hello, hi, howdy. Bora Fernani Noswith there. Welcome on in. Oh, sorry, I woke up like half an hour before this, and I had a shower. I would have woken up like a little bit earlier, but unfortunately a certain cat decided 6:30 was the proper time for me to be waking up for him. Followed by me blocking the door with two boxes full of books. Because I really needed to sleep. Kitty, kitty! Would also, yes, welcome on in, everybody. Congratulations, Cole, for getting your cookie. Hiya, Cole. And congratulations, Ferecki, for getting the astounding archive cookie of being first. Welcome on in, Ferecki, as well. And also, hi, Krong! Breathe in, breathe out. Ah, yes, Manuel mode. Yes. How's everyone doing today? How's it all going? I don't mean to sound so, like, relaxed and as sleepy, but, yeah. It's a relaxing morning. The sun is not there. The birds are... Okay, there are birds that are chirping, but not necessarily singing. The sun is gone. The birds are chirping. It's a great time. Back to water. Well, we are breathing automatically once again. Happy to see you, pal. Happy to see you, Kronk, too. Welcome on in. Yes, please don't mind if I sound like a little less uppity than usual. Today is going to be a chill one, because we're going to be checking out something that that's kind of inspired, like, my writing. So back in the good old days of looking for free visual novels because I be a broke, isn't this normal pal voice? Nope. Kind of. This is technically like pal after hours voice, but not after hours, it's during morning. Pal, I'm usually a lot more uppity, so today is just like chill pal, rather than over enthusiastic pal. Yeah, pal after hours sounds lewd. Never mind. It's not after hours then, because I'm kind of loopy when it's like I need to sleep, but then I have like a designated time when it's like no people. And then after that point, it's like, okay, if people are after those hours, then that's what they're getting. Yes, no, there's no lewd. No lewd. But yeah, there was this is a visual novel called Fallstreak, which instead of it being like a normal, one of the normal sort of visual novel things of choose a path, go through this, go through that. This one is a linear one. So instead of it being a visual novel that is like multiple choice, this is taking visual novel to the literal definition. It is a novel that is become visual, and you're able to see like the scene changes, you're able to see like how the characters interact with each other with like models and such. And back in the day, this was something that as I was reading it, it was like, this has changed my life. I didn't know if I needed to put a trigger warning on this one, because I know there are some bits that are a little darker in here. So that's where I was a little stumped, because I know the second one has a lot of triggers. The first one, I think I'd be okay with, like, not. Mother. Wait. Pal. Hi, Haruki. How's it going? How you doing? Okay, Haruki, I'm gonna warn you. The thing I'm doing today, it might, depending on like which part I get up to, it might be a little bit stressy for you. So, if it happens to get like uncomfortable at any point, I am a-okay with you like turning this off. Okay? I've taught myself to click in both hands. Really? Wow. Thanks, Carl. I was literally gonna type the power pause thing because I didn't know how to flag this one up because it was a little bit, because it's really good. The storyline it's good in my opinion, especially with the writing that happened to be. Let me look at how old this is now. Because I last played it September because I needed to pick me up. Yeah, this is 2018. And I like this a lot. I like this a lot. I think I should be. I don't know how far I'd get because I know that near the end of this, it does get a little more graphic. Left hand's okay at clicking since one decided to train a few days ago. That's pretty cool. Good job. She's our resident demon child. You must anyway. Polygraphy. No, polygraphy. Oh dear, nope. But, yeah, when I found... I'm probably in the game. This is, again, linear visual novel, so... Maybe. You won't know. I'm gonna quickly get the game up just so I can get my stuff sorted, because again, I didn't do much. Again, I'd have to explain that this one definitely shaped how I like visualize things when it comes to storytelling, especially with how I view characters and whatnot. Too loud. Let me quickly turn the music down. Actually, the music might not sound bad to you. It just sounds a little loud to me. So let me just quickly sort the sound. Oh, how you Tal? How's it going? How you doing? Welcome on in. We're looking at a visual novel today. I think I've talked about this one when, like, months ago now. Happened to help with my surrealism writing because it's how I started. But yeah, I hope you're having a good day, and I hope that today is as productive as every other day for you. Let's go with this one. Still here. It's all good. Let's see. Oops. Let's go with... Where is it? It's gonna work. Hey, you're supposed to be working. Specify Windows not a game. Really? It's not considering you a game? There we go. No, it's a game. It's a game, alright, guys. So if I shrink this slightly. Ah. Come on. Just a little bit more. Remember this one? Yeah, no, I wanted to like reread it again, so if I shrink this slightly, there we go, all sorted. I think I should be okay to like not block much of the scenery, but yeah, this is again. I couldn't before I start. Let me double check if there's any like settings because there shouldn't be. No, we're all good. So I don't. At some parts it might be a little uncomfortable. If not, then you're all good. I know that the second one for this, or like the prequel, that I have to put a trigger warning on that one specifically. Oh, why did my volume go down? Yeah, I have to specifically put a trigger warning if I ever play the second one, because that one has a lot of graphic scenes and talks about a lot of depressing stuff. This one does talk about some depressing things as well, but not as bad. But it's the writing and the scenery that ends up like inspiring me. So I wanted to have like a really chill one today and just, well, read. If that's okay with everybody. Might not be the most entertaining, but I live to be background noise, if anything else. So without further ado, the music shouldn't copyright me. It's fine. Let's go. If you need me to like change where I am so you can see the screen better, let me know. But I think we're okay. Peering down from the sky above, a golden eye strains to remain open as a sleep tugs at its eyelids. A solitary house lies draped in its fading warmth, nestled in the land like an egg waiting to hatch. At its side stands a weathered old tree. The swing that hangs from it rests in utter stillness, lacking any wind to stir it. I swear I can read. I should take off the hat, shouldn't I? Yeah. Also, there's a character. Within the house, silence settles softly around the figure of a sleeping young girl, like the downy feathers of a newborn chick. Her eyes flicker and shift as she begins to awaken. And we change from third person to first person, from the girl's perspective this time. The first breath of awakening escapes my lips as the world fades into view like after a dream. Reading's hard. A ceiling different from the one that belonged to my bedroom could be seen, dappled in golden light. I see, upon falling asleep I had returned to this place. A timeless realm that exists somewhere between the waking world and the world of dreams. A place where one never went hungry and the sun never moved from its spot in the sky. Once again, I was back at that place. So we are introduced to our first character, Adelise. Adelise? I usually call her Adelise. Also, don't mind if like the camera's not working. The screen is very bright, which means that my camera's having a bit of a hard time picking me up. Though time wasn't an issue in the Golden Dream. Why is my model not working? Every time. Like, it's dark outside, but it's like really bright next to the screen, which is why the model's not working. So let me just let's try that. I think that's working now. Maybe. Please. Okay, it's working. Though time wasn't an issue in the Golden Dream, sitting around became unbearable rather quickly. Let's go outside. The vivid golden light of an eternal sunset fills my vision as I exit the house. With no particular destination in mind, I start moving my legs towards the horizon. Eventually, the house behind me shrinks to but a tiny dot in the distance. But even then, green grass is the only thing that stretches out before me. I had done this many times already, so I knew. The Golden Dream was a warping world, a wrapping world even. Reading's hard. No matter what direction you went, if you continued straight, you'd always end up back at the house. Isolated and closed off. It wasn't wrong to think of the Golden Dream as a prison. But if so, the waking world outside of Soccertrine was just as much of a prison. It's going to be a hassle to walk a full loop back around to the house. Oh, hi Peggy, welcome on in. How's it going? How you doing? I'm doing we're having a story time. We're very much having a story time today, so it's going to be very chill. I hope you're having a wonderful day with our great weather. with the greatest weather of clouds and nothing. Story time sounds good. I'm glad. Yeah, feel free to get comfy over here, or just put me as background noise. Such great weather. I know, right? The clouds are just so perfect. Just woke up. Fair enough. Good morning. But yep, allow this to at least lull you back into the world in a nicer way. Ah, you're here. A presence had appeared at my side during my aimless wandering. Though calling it a presence was a bit of a stretch, seeing how I couldn't see, hear, or touch it. Okay, you carry on with the story time. We need to clean the house. Good luck with cleaning the house, Peggy. I hope it goes swiftly for you. Mwah, 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 mwah. Ah, my bottle broke when I was doing mwah. Okay. How then did I know it was there? Well, let's just say there's a lot of things that don't make sense in this place. Good evening, Tubby. Tubby, a childish name I had given the immaterial being a long time ago upon noticing it for the first time. Since Tubby didn't exactly have much to work with in terms of characteristics, I'd never been able to come up with a better name. Oh well, you like the name Tubby, don't you? Though Tubby appeared at my side during my stays in the Golden Dream every now and then, it was hard to say it offered much in the form of company. Though there are things I can only do when you're around. Lowering myself to the grass, I start to visualize a bicycle in my head. I try conceptualizing every aspect of the bike that I can, from its metal frame to its air-filled tires. I even go to the extra mile and imagine a cute little bell perched on the handlebars. Concentrating deeply, I shut my eyes. With a slow inhale, I bring my contemplation on the image to a peak. Upon opening my eyes, I find the very bicycle I envisioned standing before me, as if it had been there all along. Wow, it came out pretty nice. Ooh, okay, hold on. Small poem of the day. May the sunlight touch your skin, letting you shine into the wonderful moment, making the world see the beauty that the sun shows to us. May you shine brightly even at the moonlight. Aw, thank you so much for the poem, Digital Mango. And thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the archives. The memberships are at the front desk. It's a pleasure to meet you. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And honestly, it's a really nice poem. Thank you for that. You know what? I'm screenshotting that and sending that to my story part of my server. Hold on. I legit have a part of my server where we post like stuff that we've written, so this is perfect. Thank you so much for the poem. It's absolutely gorgeous. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I hope you have a wonderful stay here too while I tell a visual novel story. I feel like creating small poems, and I'm happy that you appreciate it. Honestly, as a fellow writer, I definitely appreciate it. And I do hope that you have many more poems to go as well. Let me just quickly sneak this in here. Where? There we go. There. Yep, you're just in time for story time. I am reading a visual novel that kind of helped me to inspire my writing, so I hope you either wish to relax here, or if you have to go on and share your wisdom with everyone else in the world, then I hope you have a wonderful time doing so. I do, but they are for others to enjoy. Let them feel what you feel after seeing what I read. Fair enough. Really nice. Let's give it a go. I try mounting the bike, but the poor contraption immediately falls apart under my weight, sending me plummeting to the ground with a heroic faceplant. Oh, ow. I don't know why, but whenever Tubby is with me, tinkering around with the fabric of this world becomes possible. There are limits to what I can do, though. Anything I try to insatiate possesses complete fidelity to my vision, so complications arise if I don't truly understand what I'm trying to conceive. Cool name. Name is in the stream element message. Yeah, of course. Though I understood the general theory behind how a bike worked, when you get down to the nitty-gritties, it's a complex machine that requires many parts to work together in harmony to perform its function. Oh well, not planning on being a bicycle mechanic when I grow up anyways. Disheartened, I detached the bell from the broken down bike and give it a ring as I resume my journey on foot. Welcome back, Haruki. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Gave up on math. Try it again in a little bit, okay? For now, just maybe relax your brain. You'll get it in the end. But it only creates a dull and pitiful sound, like clapping wood before crumbling to dust in my hand. Jesus Christ. Try tomorrow because I don't have maths at school. Alright. I'd still say, let your brain rest for a little bit, and then maybe try again in, say, half an hour. Because you might just need like a little rest of your brain just to understand the math problems a bit better. And you know that people in chat, if you are struggling, people will probably be here to help, you know? Half an hour by 10 PM. Yeah, and? Left in my hand. Well, looks like I can cross off building bells off our list of ambition and dreams as well. Upon returning to the house, I stop and ponder the motionless swing under the tree. Discord just told you you are live. Wow. It's alright, Discord doesn't like me either, considering I get 2 pings when I go live. One from my old server, one from my new one. Well, my current one even. Several hours have probably already passed. Not that it really mattered. Before I knew it, the tree was creaking and groaning overhead like a grandpa cajoled into giving a kid a piggyback ride. Cajoled is a weird word. May the wisdom of the highest bless you for your endeavours. Rest for now, feel the breeze and relax your mind, and I'm sure what you're doing will be done. That's a nice way of putting it. That's a very nice way of putting it. No, digital. As I swayed through the air, my thoughts stray on a peculiar avenue. I wonder if God has woes. The nature and veracity of such an existence aside, it was the implication of being all-knowing that interested me. Omniscience, in a way, it could be said if I possessed a certain degree of it when it came to the golden dream. There is nothing that ever happens here without my knowledge after all, because nothing changes in this place unless I dictate or define so. I wonder if it's the same. I wonder if, from God's perspective, the universe doesn't change unless they dictate or define so. If so, I can't think of omniscience as anything more than a curse. If my time in the golden dream has taught me anything, it's that experiencing a new event beyond your control is an irreplaceable treasure. There is a beauty in having things happen even when you do not will them to. Let me just move this over, see if this works better. Is that gonna work? Yeah, that works better, I think. But looking forward to a hopeful tomorrow, full of seemingly endless possibilities, is a privilege for the transient and unknowing. From an omniscient being, nothing is random, nothing is unexpected, and nothing is unknown. Tomorrow would only hold the promise of predetermined eternality. It would be like being trapped in the golden dream forever. Just imagining it feels suffocating. Anyways, your turn, Tabby. Bringing the swing to a halt, I take a seat on the grass and cover my eyes. Darkness fills my vision as I shut the everlasting sunset from my eyes. If there was one thing that kept my mind from breaking in this golden purgatory, it was that I had Tubby by my side. Even though Tubby never acts on its own without my input or prompting, the fact that its presence allows me to believe in a will other than my own is my lifeline. When I let go of my ears and open my eyes, I briefly hear the sound of creaking. Looking back, I catch sight of the swing gliding through the air. Thunk. Ow! I flop gracefully onto my back as the swing crashes into my forehead. You're such a bully, Tubby. Though everything has transpired according to my design, putting the blame on Tubby instilled much needed colour to the bleak reality. Ooh, Def! Oh my goodness! Hi! Welcome on in, Def! It's an absolute pleasure to see you. And to see you in my chat, even. Especially since I lurk in yours quite a bit. Welcome! What a pretty model you have. It caught my eye instantly when I scrolled through the VTubers. Oh, Kazuhika, thank you so much. Honestly, it's a pleasure to meet you too. I'm glad that my model definitely caught your attention, and I hope you are honestly having an amazing day. Just call me pal. What do you mean it's a pleasure to see me? I'm not special. You are very special, Def. What do you mean? You are extremely special. A friend of my friends is a friend of mine. Anyone new here, pals and mazeballs? Oh, Kazuhika Riku, thank you so much for the follow as well. Welcome to the archives. The memberships are at the front desk. It's a pleasure to meet you. We are currently having like a little story time today. We're playing through a linear visual novel called Fallstreak. So I hope if you wish, I hope that you stick around. If you wish for some more relaxing times today, then this might be where you want to stay. And if not, then I hope wherever you go next, you having a wonderful time too. Seeing you lurking in my streams, that was like... Listen, I am kind of known for just lurking at random points, so don't worry about it. Feeling very relaxed. I'm glad to hear. I'm very glad to hear. But yes, no. Anybody who I have heard who does stream, or anybody who I've seen that my friends have recommended me looking at, I end up just lurking because I am usually very shy to talk. And your content's honestly really cool to me. You found me through mutuals and vice versa. Good folks they are. They really are, indeed. But I'm gonna sleep. Have a good stream. Don't get scared or push yourself. Love you. Good night. You go get some good sleep, Haruki, okay? Hulval Amitra. Goodbye for now. And I hope you have a wonderful dreams. Did your friends recommend me, or you just got curious? So Hades raided you one time, and I kind of stayed because I remembered him, like, saying how cool you were. So I, just kind of stuck there. Oh my god. No, really. If I like the content, I will stay. And not only were you, certified from, my good friend Hades Dosh, but I genuinely liked your personality and, like, all the stuff you were doing, so of course I stayed. Like I said, a friend of a friend is a friend of mine. And, yeah, no, I am very honored that you came to check out my stuff too. You know. Sorry, I feel like I'm fangirling about people that I recognize. It's like, I'm a big fan. It's like, no, but I'm a big fan. It's like, I'm a bigger fan. And then I turn to a fan. A friend of a friend that makes the whole world blind. Wait, what? Not right. No. Always around if you want to hang out and chat. Always happy to make new friends. Indeed. Same over here. It's like we say this and then we proceed to forget about this, and then we'll just say it again like a couple months later. Fangirling me? That's crazy. Listen, it's like meeting Yoroshi for the first time. It's like you see them on the screen, but then you talk to them in person, and it's just a weird sensation, you know? I think I met Dev through the Secret Santa thing that Mika organised. Oh yeah, you did do that too. I remember, don't worry. Fair enough. Yeah, no, I remembered months ago. Yeah, Hades raided into Def because he did a collab with Def and a couple of other people. Because I think we met Def through Buns, and then that's how that kind of added. So I remembered you from like months ago, from all that. It's like it's a weird thing to make like the chart for it. Must have been before I was awake, probably. I'm gonna have to make like a diagram of how everybody knows each other at one point. Force me slowly integrating myself into the Raps Hades Mika ecosystem like an invasive species. Listen, Raps takes all. Hades is a great one, and Mika is the loveliest person on earth. All three of them are absolutely adorable and amazing in their own way. So 10 out of 10. I adore Buns. Buns is like my wife at this point. Buns is like the wife I really want to propose to. Try it too complicated. Jeez. We should make a web diagram. That's a good concept. Okay, so Def, you me collab web diagram of how everybody knows each other. And then how people could know each other after that. I love them. I called Hades a cutie patootie. Good. He is one. But also, a special poem for the streamer. Ooh. As the screen shines in front of your eyes, she appears in front of you. She guides you to her community, making sure you're comfortable with her. For you to be meeting her must be fate, as the more you interact with her, the more you want to stay even more. May she shines for your eyes and let her beauty feed your eyes. Ah, that's a very sweet one. Thank you, Digital. Please keep writing for whatever reason, because your writing makes a lot of people smile. I can assure you. I'm very confused what's happening here. Don't worry about it. Let's do it. Yay! Long story short, Froggy, I'm currently fangirling over another streamer. Happy I did it with you. Aww. I highly appreciate it. Yes, back to my own story now, I guess. Boop. Alright then. Don't worry about it. I'm serious, let's make a stream out of it and make a whole web of people we know. No, I'm down for that, really. I'm in Raps's, Mika's and Hades server, so if you want to ping me, well, not ping me, but like DM me, go for it, and then we can like set up a date for that. Still like me missing a stream. Yeah. We're exchanging praise. We are indeed. A very relaxed time and a very, very much worthwhile praise. Okay. just Tetrising over here in the corner. You have to get off the train. No worries, you relax. Bro, this house has too many windows. Hi, Water. How's it going? How you doing? It has a lot of windows, but it's a nice house. And thank you for the care package too. Also, Reggie, you are one of my favorite streamers too. I always get excited when you come in, even though I only have seen like part of one of your streams. House is 70% windows. It is. The other 30% is flooring. Yes. Hi, Walter! Enough about me. This is your stream, don't be distracted. Don't worry about it. I'm happy to do that. Thank you for the head pat. Thank you, thank you. Also, you're the first person I've sent poem for today. Aw, I'm very honoured. Thank you. And I do hope that everyone else who receives a poem from you is just as happy. Yeah, when you holiday in Japan. Listen, Breggy, I'm gonna tell you now before I get back to this. The last time I was in Japan, I was having to work through it. This was an actual holiday. I was working through my last one because I had my university dissertation to do. I did 18,000 words in 2 weeks. Only one tree is too sad. Can we play some rock music for the sad moment? There. Back. Probably Gritty off the train now. Go do that, Gritty. Go do that, Gritty. Yes, now. It'd be nice if we could play together. Playing on the swing wasn't as fun when there was no one to push you. Out of many, you've been the most positive reaction after reading my poem. Aww. That's quite surprising, to be honest. Oh. That's very surprising, Digital, because no, your poetry's really nice. I do hope you get more positive reactions next time, though. Most thought my poems are for flirting. No. My chat definitely knows the difference between, like, nice poetry and flirting, so definitely wouldn't consider it like that. Besides, poetry isn't just necessarily just for, like, romantic reasons. You can write poetry to just encapsulate feelings. What's the difference? So it's what's the difference between the breathing or the poetry? So for the breathing thing, there's manual and automatic, so you just breathe manually and breathe automatic. For poetry, there's poetry specifically for wooing somebody, which you definitely put like a lot more straightforward things in there. If it's just a poem to encapsulate the moment, then it usually just comes from like the feelings that you understand. The other person doesn't necessarily have to understand it, but it happens to show like a part of the moment. Poems are an expression of emotion. They are. And I did not just do a master's learning all about this or anything. No. Yeah, I'd rather riddle them. Well, you can still do a riddle for them. Yeah. Listen, I appreciate poetry because I suck at writing it, even after taking a master's in creative writing. And there was a poetry module, I just didn't take it. The manual thought button's been activated. No. Ain't no master, I just like to write. That's fine, I literally got an education in writing, so... Yeah, well, manually farting. Great. Well... You go manually fart, I'm just gonna read. Instruction clear, that wasn't a fart. Also, this scene, this is kind of where I got the inspiration for, the archives. One second. Ah, no. Oh no, I skipped so much. Let me go back. It skipped so much. Jesus Christ. Let me play that cutscene again, because I want to see if I can, get the screen to show you the whole of this up. Settings. The first thing, I gotta bounce now. Take care, okay? Oops. Oop. Stop being so engaging so I can leave. I'm sorry! Okay, I can say that. I'm legit trying to find, like, how to do this. There we go. But yeah, take care, Death. But yes, this this scene right here, if you ever wanted to see the original concept of what I imagined the archives would be like, even before I started streaming, this is what it is. This is what I imagined the archives would be similar to, before I started developing a little bit more for it. So, my actual concept of the archives has no windows. It would be a lot more cozy though. So there would definitely be more like beanbags and whatnot. But yeah, this is like the first point in which, hey, this would be a good idea. Because this, I really should have just sent this as like a reference at some point. Because the starry details, the just encapsulating scene, it's everything that I would imagine as just like one part of it. Hell, because the archives are technically infinite, this sort of concept can still be part of it. You just have to find it, you know? But yeah, no, this is something that I would have as a desktop if I could. But I'd make it better, because it'd be my own. Anyway. I always end up finding myself here, don't I? My cradle and my cage. The Celestial Library. That was the name I had given the sprawling book room painted over with stars. New Power Law? No, not New Power. Not New Power Law. This is Pal Concept Law. Even it's not even new. It's just concept law. So technically, yes. Anyway, hi Wraith. How's it going? How you doing? I hope you're having a wonderful day. Hold on. Space was distorted in several rooms in the Golden Dream, but it was only here that it feels like the heaven itself was spreading out before you. What should I read today? Books that couldn't be found in the waking world, and books that spoke of the universe beyond Socotrine's closed realm. There was nothing in this garden of knowledge that I have left unread. But it wasn't like I had anything else to do. Picking out a book at random, I settled down on a comfy alcove of the second floor. Go ahead and read too, Tubby. I shut my eyes for a bit as I addressed Tubby. When I reopened them, an open book can be seen lying on the floor by my side. Now, what do we have here? None of the books in the Celestial Library had an author or title, but all it took was a quick glance at the first sentence for me to discern the book's content. It's been a long time since I've read this one, or perhaps it hasn't been that long at all. A world of only one. It was a story about such a world. As if reflecting the heart of their soul reader, it was a theme that many of the books in this library shared. Now then, take me away once more. Let me slip and fall between the pages, the lines. If only for a moment, I shall dream. Once upon a time, there was a world that had lost all but one to time. A lone girl who did not know the warmth of others, yet longed for it still. One day, she beheld her reflection in the water and had a thought. If the person on the other side were to come over here, I would no longer be alone. It was a simple and childish wish, yet the girl poured her everything into that wish. Seconds, minutes, hours, days, months, years, decades, centuries, millennium. The girl created many selves as the time tick-tocked away. One made of wood, one made of clay, one made of porcelain, and one made of plastic. She crafted those selves without end. Dolls that were her very splitting image, that even moved as she might. Yet it was not enough for the girl. For while the dolls could move, it was only when she manipulated them to do so. A self that had their own thoughts and moved on their own will. The girl laboured without end to bring such a self into the world. Until at last, she was finally able to fulfill her wish. A beautiful doll created in the girl's own image and dressed in trim of 7 colours. Upon seeing its eyes open for the first time, the girl voiced the first greeting in her life. "Hello, dear dreamer." However, the doll could only stare in silence, for it did not know of words. So the girl smiled, deeply and widely from the bottom of her heart. But even if the doll did not know words, it should know of smiles. That was what the girl thought, or rather wished for. "You must have so many questions. Let me show you. Your naught and nil, my all fulfilled." Taking the doll's hand in hers, the girl turned to the water's surface, where 2 reflections rippled like the turning of a tale's page, the jostling of an upended bookmark. "Myself, monochrome, of 7 colours. I am you. You are me. The puppet, the puppeteer no more. I am you, and you are me." Words spoken with a smile, they carried meaning the doll could not grasp. Yet somehow, the doll felt it understood. "This beautiful world I've always longed to share with someone. Won't you come and play with me?" The world had not changed by the doll entering it. Yet to the girl, it felt like the world she had known for time immemorial had been reborn. It was a life the girl had only been able to dream of. She showed the doll many things, teaching it and blessing it with old experiences made new. Laughing, playing, they collected precious treasures together. Memories, dreams, the 2 held them in their hands. Warm little stones plucked from the sky and placed in a bucket of water and sand. Then one day, as they gazed over the sprawling fields of a world that belonged to all to them, the girl asked the doll a question. "Is it fun?" A simple, straightforward question, one the doll should have been able to answer. Yet in the end, it could only cock its head. "What is fun? I understand, but at the same time I do not." "The answer is good enough for me." "Is it?" "Yes, the reason you're not sure what fun is because it's all you know. Having never felt its absence, you're unable to fully grasp its presence." "Huh. Winter's bite gives form to summer's light. The cold of night makes the sun bold and bright." "Oh, I think I get it." The girl's words made the doll wonder about something. "Will you show me unfun things as well?" "Of course. It's important to experience all the colours of life. Even sadness is a necessary sweet pain, because it lets you know what happiness is. It's not enough to just be happy. Even if one knows the utmost of happiness, it is all but a hollow construct in a vacuum if not contemplated or contrasted by the other colours of life." Hollow. A coin with only one side is meaningless. Coins only have definition and value because they have 2 sides that can be judged, relative to each other. Sorry, my voice just keeps going. Give me a second. Right, every time I start reading, my voice just starts cracking, which is not very good. Must admit, not very good. But I have another drink in front of me, so don't you worry. You can't flip a coin and call heads or tails if there's only one side, can you? Breathe. Don't worry, we are breathing, don't you worry. You can't. The girl giggled when the doll nodded in understanding. Though she was playful like this, she was very wise. There was never a moment where the doll was not learning something from her. Listen well, dear dreamer. A monochrome happiness has no value. Pleasant tints, painful shades, and tones that meld into the two together. They're all treasures. It is for that reason that you are adorned in 7 colours. Even things that are painful and sad should be wished for. That was what the girl said. But if so, if all the colours must be, is there something that must not be? If a canvas graced by all the colours of life is what is sought, is a blank canvas what is not? As if reading the doll's thoughts, the girl shook her head. A canvas that is blank can simply be painted over. No, what must not be allowed is a canvas that is never shared. Something changed about the girl at that moment. Yes, no matter how many canvases teeming with colour you paint, if they are not shared, they are never truly complete. A voice that had always been full of brightness and warmth. It was now dyed a cold and distant shade. Did you know, dear dreamer? No matter how much I wish to, I can't create a story. Because a story is a world, and the minimum amount of people required to make a world is 2. A writer can pen enough books to circle the horizon, but without a reader, a story can never be born of it. Without a reader, a book is nothing but a one-sided coin. No matter how much an author wishes for it, no matter how much they pour their soul into it, a story cannot be realized alone. Bitterness, frustration, sorrow, and despair. It was an expression the girl had never shown the doll before. The image of a stranger and someone familiar overlapped, making the doll afraid to reach out. But more than anything, it did not want to see the girl make such a face. So it spoke up, giving voice to its deepest desire. If it takes 2 people to create a world, then let me be that second person. Let me be your other half. The doll wanted to see the girl smile again, because without it, it was lost. Please, I don't know what I can do, but I want to help you. Won't you let me? But the doll's heartfelt plea, no, was only met with rejection. Words that carried the doll's earnest wish, they fell to the ground, unvoiced, unrealized. You can't. You can't create a world with me. Why? Why can't I? Because you do not possess a will of your own. What do you mean? Am I not here? Am I not speaking to you at this very moment? This too is just a lie. The words you speak are not your own. They are but the product of a script. The girl's eyes were alien, foreign. They were the eyes of a stranger the doll did not know. The doll did not understand. The girl who would gaze upon it with warm eyes and caress it with tender hands. Now only coldness dwelled within her eyes, a gulf that could not be traversed having opened up between the two. The doll could not bear it. It wanted the girl it held dear to come back. And so it asked of the girl, "Why do you forsake me?" "I do not forsake you." "You do." "No, it is myself who I forsake. Because there is no one else after all. There is no one else in the world but me. I am here. I exist. You are nothing but a doll." The doll could not accept the girl's words, and so, compelled by a denial that neared desperation, it lashed out at the girl. But But something unexpected happens when the doll's hand made contact with the girl. This is... With a clacking sound, it had fallen to the ground. The girl's arm. An arm not of flesh and blood. There is nothing left for me to hide, is there? Sinking to her knees, the girl cradled the arm lying on the ground. Her hunched figure seemed incredibly small to the doll. Most of my body has already been placed with doll parts. Breathing episode. I am almost as much a doll as you. The girl has spared nothing, not even her own body, in yearning to create another self. It is for that reason that I know. The strings that attach the body and soul are the same as which controls dolls. Dolls like you don't have any will of their own. They are simply being inhabited by mine. Strings that bestowed life and movement upon the girl's creation. The story kind of sad. Also, a one-sided coin don't exist. I mean, true, but it's the metaphor. It's the metaphor that counts. Those very strings were the girl's chains. The dolls under my control cannot do anything beyond what I dictate. Even when they laugh, cry, and sing, those actions never stop being my own. Even you, dear dreamer, you cannot move unless I command it. You are incapable of disobeying the script I write for you. But most importantly, you are incapable of writing your own script. The doll did not know what to say. It did not know how to feel. Perhaps it was shock. Or perhaps it was because the girl had not yet determined what the doll might feel or say. You understand now, don't you? Why you can't create a world with me? Because I am you, and you are me. A spell to break the glass seal. It left the doll's mouth unbidden. I am all alone in this world. This eternally repeating present. I deceived myself, deluded myself into thinking it was finally over. After so long, my time had finally begun to move. After so long, I'll finally be able to reach the future. That was what I thought. It was all just a hollow facade. As one, the doll and girl spoke of the cold truth that lay beneath, gilded in wonderland. Imagined warmth, fabricated colour. In the end, I'm nothing but a lonely girl playing with dolls by herself. Something wet and clear began to stream down the girl's face. It was proof she was human, proof she was alive. And as the doll could not do the same, it was proof she was the only one in the world. A world like this, I don't need it anymore. I can't bear it anymore. A world of only one, that continued to turn fruitlessly like a broken cog. I'm tired of it. So tired. I just want to rest now. So the last thing I will have you do, dear dreamer, is end this life of mine. At that moment, it extended from the doll's arm. A terribly cold denial, an affirmation wrought of steel. The key is already in the silver lock. All that's left to do is turn it. With mechanical steps, the doll marched forward, just as the girl directed, just as her will desired. In the end, I knew exactly what I was doing, didn't I? The reason that I created you was to free me from this unending dream. As if guided by invisible strings, the doll's body moved forth. 1 step, 2. The doll advanced towards the girl. Tensing, rotating its arm. Now then, this dream has gone on for far too long. It's time to wake up. With arms spread wide, the girl welcomed the doll into her chest, embracing it sweetly, tenderly, as the doll's 7 colours turned to one. Red, the colourful canvas. Red, the monochrome canvas. Vibrant, vacant, it became overwhelmed with a singular hue. So dark, so cold. Is this death? It's scary, isn't it, dear dreamer? The doll answered. It did not. A tear running down its porcelain cheek. Red as a rose, it was not clear. Not clear like the raindrops that flowed down the girl's face. Alone. That's how I've been all my life. But at the very least, I didn't want to die that way. With someone at my side, that's how I wanted it to end. Would you grant that small wish of mine, dear dreamer? It was then that the doll's mouth moved, giving voice to one last gentle lie. I am here, by your side. We shall sleep together. For I am you, and you are me. And so the world of only one became that of none. As the last that remained slipped into eternal repose. When I come to, I find myself lying on a bed. Even before I opened my eyes, though, I knew. Still here, huh? Curling into a loose ball, I find the book I had picked out by myself. By my side, even. I run my fingers across the book's nameless binding. Its blank roughness corresponds. A world where nothing is unexpected and everything is defined by you. A universe of only one. I wonder, what if people were to God as dolls were to the girl? Dolls cannot act on their own, as the puppeteer that controls them can never be ignorant of what they would do, because on an intrinsic level, their actions are the puppeteer's. In a similar vein, people can laugh, cry, and sing. But is their laughter and lamentations the product of their free will? Or is it all simply a dictation of an unseen script? Creating an existence other than your own and breathing life into it. Loving it with all your heart and giving it your everything. Yet no matter what you do, it'll never be able to escape the intrinsic quality of being but an extension of your soul. The despair of knowing your creation can never possess free will or the capacity to grow on its own. It makes you question if you yourself have free will. It makes you question if even God has free will. For if an omniscient entity knows everything, even about its own decisions of the future, does that not forbid free will to that entity? Perhaps if free will doesn't truly how did I butcher that? Perhaps free will doesn't truly exist. But even then, I think we should believe that it does. What do you think about that, Tubby? Musing to myself, I gazed to the floor next to the bed. The book I had picked out for Tubby in the Celestial Library was laying there, with not a single page turned. What are you, a bumpkin? Don't doze off at a mere sight of a book. At least try to read some of it. When I blink and look again, Tubby's book, which had been on the first page, was suddenly on the last. You're not fooling anyone to thinking you read all that in the blink of an eye. I'm quite conscious of the fact that everything in this exchange is merely a part of a script I've imagined, but spirited facades like these were important for keeping my sanity intact. I'm just like the girl in the story, aren't I? Life's most fundamental quality is that it subverts non-existence. Perhaps it could even be said that it was life's most intrinsic purpose, to be something rather than nothing. Something, anything that defines nothingness. Anything, everything that fills the world with colour and movement. It was the most base and impure of impotence. A blank canvas must be painted over, no matter what the means. But even the most beautiful canvases are as nil as dust if not shared. I heave a heavy sigh as I rest my head on my book. Being left alone here for so long with nothing but your own thoughts gnaws at you. Since I never got tired here and there was no night, the only thing to dictate when I slept was whim. Entry and exit from the golden dream didn't seem to have any rhyme or reason to it. There have been times where I've awakened in this alternative after simply shutting my eyes for a bit. Good evening, Tubby. Mumbling something that wouldn't make sense anywhere else, I begin to doze off. As I'm fading away, for some reason I'm struck with the inexplicable conviction that Tubby would make for an amazing pillow. Tubby pillow for sale. Buy one, get one free. No refunds will be issued if for some odd reason your product has no actual physical form. Okay, now the real story begins. Now the real story begins. The sound of chirping birds, a song that brings me release so sweet I feel my entire body go slack with relief. As my eyes adjust to the warm sunlight flowing through the window, I let out a breath so deep one would think I've been holding it in the entire night. A light breeze rustled the curtains, brushing against my cheek the way one would tenderly caress someone to ease them from their slumber. It's probably something few others would ever think about. But the air of the world we live in is alive. It's full of movement, weight, and subtle scents. There is a texture to it that the golden dreams Ersatz air can never compare to. Ersatz is also a very weird word, I'm gonna tell you now. Like, it just looks fancy as hell. And you just don't see it, like, in many places. I'm back. The sights and sensations of the waking world fill me with maddeningly. There we go. Air Premium Plus. Indeed, Air Premium Plus. Anyway, the sight and sensation of the waking world fill me with a maddeningly familiar hunger, like the desire to gorge on the rich stimuli surrounding me. Speaking of eating, something smells good. The appetizing aroma of breakfast being prepared tickled at my nose, prompting me to slip out of the comfort of my bed. After wrapping up my morning dailies, gotcha gamer, I'm kidding, I descend the stairs to the kitchen where a bowl of chicken congee already awaited me. Also, I'm gonna show off this kitchen and like living room area. I love all the scenes that are in this, by the way. Like, all the details of the scenes, it feels perfect. I would live here myself if I could. Anyway. Good morning, Aid. Did you have a restful night? Yes, it was golden. Holding up the OK sign, I blow furiously on a spoonful of the hot rice porridge before guiding it to my mouth. Picturesque. Indeed, very picturesque. All the scenes and stuff that's been drawn in here are very picturesque. They do have an a fan art book that you can pay for, because Fallstreak, I will let you know, is free. But they have an art book that you can pay for, which I should get at some point, because I love this artwork so much. Wah! Wah 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 wah! I give a little yelp as my tongue scorches from the unexpected heat. Careful, it's fresh out the pot. Papa makes a troubled expression as he watches me squirm around in my seat. Hot, hot! Somehow, the pain was not unwelcome. This too was one of the tiny treasures of ordinary life after all. You seem to be in high spirits today, Ed. Did something happen at school? Papa pushes a glass of water to me as he prudently wafts his own chow. once liberated from the Konji's searing heat, I think back to the day before the Golden Dream. I believe we're having a bridge construction contest today. Ah, that would explain why you were collecting all those materials last night. Will you be able to carry all that to school, though? Seems a bit heavy. Do you doubt my strength? With a swaggering smile, I flex my legendary textbook tutting biceps. Please get no letter to help you. I promptly finish eating my meal at the expense of my tongue's outer layers. Usually I'm not too fond of Papa's cooking, since he's rather conservative with what he makes. But for some reason his homely chow congee was an exception. After washing up, I retrieve everything I need and go put on my shoes. Papa follows along to the door to see me off as he always does. It's okay if you don't win the contest, you know. Just try to have fun. Reaching down, he rubs the side of my head with the pads of his fingers. It was a familiar and comforting sensation, but somehow it made me feel a little lonely. If I don't win, how will I ever realise my long-standing dream of becoming a master bridge builder? Listen, this is why I love Aid. Or Ade. But I think they're trying to say Aid instead of Ade. Because I know it's Adelise, but... Or Adi. But honestly, her sass is just great. As if to escape that lonesome feeling, something facetious escapes my mouth. That's the first I've heard such a dream. Papa gives a helpless sigh as he withdraws his hand. Take care, Aid. Stay safe. Bye, Papa. See you later. Just look at the scene. Call it 80. Okay, I might stick with 80. I do actually know an 80 in real life, so that's quite fun. But sorry, just look at the scene. I'll call it 80 from now on. The water sparkles. Everything just looks so pretty. Running out to behold the clear blue sky in the morning was the best way to start the day. But that's not to say I don't love running out to an overcast sky. A rainy sky, a misty sky, a windy sky, a snowy sky. They were all lovely. They were all the best. I find her at the edge of the sprawling green field that makes up our property. A figure so still they seem to blend into the very landscape. Good morning, Adie. Her rubescent eyes fixate on me as she greets me with a blank expression. Wrong. Reaching out with the box, reaching out with both index fingers, I pushed the corners of her mouth up. Greeting should be done with a smile. Huh? Noletta inclined her head, causing her snow-white hair to tickle my wrist. Good morning, Eddie. A giggle escapes me when Noletta tries again with the oddly charming smile I've shaped with my fingers. Good morning, Noletta. I beam a big smile at her to drive my point home. Noletta Rue, a girl shrouded in mystery to the point where even her age was unknown. She was clearly older than me though, with an appearance that suggests around 14 or 15 if I had to guess. Despite that, she was very innocent, alarmingly so in fact. One time, when we sent her on an errand at the bakery, she almost ended up stealing, utter oblivious to the concept of exchanging currency for goods. That's why I like her so much though. Her presence has the effect of making even the familiar and routine feel new and fresh, as if you were experiencing the world for the first time again. It's strangely liberating watching Noletta stare in awe at something as simple and mundane as someone kneading dough, for example. The world is full of ordinary treasures that lie unnoticed right before us. Only we don't realize. Press the wrong one. Oh, there we go. It'll just work if I read this better. Only we don't realize it's unless it is framed in the eyes of another's innocence. Huh? Even now, Noletta was staring fixedly at the big bag of materials hanging from my back. Do you remember? We're supposed to bring in materials for a bridge construction project today. To build a bridge, you need materials. Noletta makes an expression of wonder as if the thought had never crossed her mind. I didn't bring materials. It's okay, I got you covered. I brought enough for the both of us. Thanks, Adie. It'll be tasty. Disjointed conversations like this, where it feels like you're not really on the same page with Noletta, aren't uncommon. But that's just because her way of thinking is unique. In this case, when I said I brought enough for both of us, she probably immediately made an association with lunch. So food's on her mind right now, huh? A question, vermicelli friend. Is Bressel already off smelling the flowers? Noletta paused and stares at me for a moment before nodding. He went cooking with Mr. de Malheur. Why am I silly? Wow, perfect score. While it may seem odd at first, Noletta's way of thinking is admirably fluid. Yes, something like this should be admired, shouldn't it? I knew you could do it, yeah. Bouncing on my feet, I reach up and reward her with a happy head pat. Though it is slight, my praise draws a smile from her. Playing with Noletta is the best. It's fun going along with her train of thought. Anyhow, Bressel was Noletta's older brother. Both of the Rue siblings were quite unversed with the world for their age. It's something I've wondered about ever since they came to reside on our property around a year ago. Okay, let's go meet up with the others. I often think about it though. Noletta's in a lower effective grade than me despite being a fair deal older. It's true that my physical age reflects little due to the time I've spent in the Golden Dream. But if I'm ahead of my time because of the Golden Dream, what reason could Noletta be behind hers? I study Noletta's expression profile quietly as I walk by her side. Noletta! Adie! A voice that conjured the image of an excited puppy bounds up to you, its tail wagging, interrupts my scrutiny. Just when the voice owner is about to spring on us though, she suddenly freezes in place with a flustered expression. Oh no, I forgot to try out the trendy new surprise greeting that's all the rage nowadays. A bit late for that now. Don't look, Noletta, you didn't see me. Though she clearly doesn't follow, Noletta obediently complies with Larona's instructions. Alright. Romping behind her, Larona throws her hands over Noletta's eyes. Who is it? It went dark. Guess who it is? Guess who it is? I don't know. Object permanence is something that you develop when you're an infant, Noletta. I'll give you a hint, Noletta. It starts with an L and ends with an A. Oh, and you love eating it. Starts with an L, ends with an A, and is yummy? Lasagna? And this is why we love Noletta. What? Don't turn me into a pasta casserole. Lasagna. Paying Larona no heed, Noletta takes hold of one of the hands covering her eyes and stuffs it into her mouth. Can't argue with that logic. For real. Nom. Yeah, don't eat me. It's Larona. Larona, I tell you. Larona flails into a panic as Noletta latches on with her teeth. Meet Larona. Though she might strike you as the type of airhead that gets lost tottering after butterflies, she's quite a responsible, though not necessarily reliable, individual. Despite being only 15, she is a talented textile artisan, that helps support the orphanage she calls home with her earnings. It's a wonder she has. Don't just stand there narrating, do something, Adie! Any time to sleep between helping care for the children, her craft and school. I love the fact that Adie actually is narrating all the stuff, but it's like mixed if she's doing it internally or externally. Even if it like prompts to say that that's her face on the screen, so she's talking, you don't know if she's actually narrating stuff outside of it without like showing the the thing. If I were to describe her in a short title, it would be Unreliable Moral Compass. What kind of title's that? Doesn't taste like lasagna. After coming to the conclusion that Lorona was indeed not lasagna, Noletta finally lets go. Trying to eat people is bad, okay, Noletta? Okay. Anyways, good morning, lasagna. Huh? It's Lorona, not lasagna. You're confusing her, Adie. Good morning, lasagna. I'm having an identity crisis. It changed the name to lasagna. That's like a nice small detail. It changes her name to lasagna. It's small, but it's funny. There. I give lasagna a pat on the noggin as she curls up and cradles her head. If it makes you feel better, you go pretty well with garlic bread. Adie has a very relative distinction between the world and the self, and so she narrates. So, come on, no, that's fair. That's a pretty good way of putting it. It's like this story, like all of the stuff in it, it does explore like a lot of different like conditions of people, and everybody is still treated like quite equally, but they still have their limitations, which is pretty interesting to me. We will forget her original name soon. Don't worry, lasagna's name is still not lasagna. With a sad sound like air escaping a balloon, lasagna deflates into the ground. Well, nothing to see here. Though Noletta seems curious about lasagna's newly acquired two-dimensional state, she follows after me as I make to leave the scene. Together, the two of us enjoy a nice, relaxing stroll to school. Don't just leave me behind! Good job, lasagna. As the three of us travel alongside a stream that winds towards our destination, we happened upon a dead wayfarer. Come on, Triss. Canoodle the ground some other time. A displeased girl could be seen impatiently tapping her foot beside the corpse in question. It was easy to see why he had succumbed. An absurd amount of project gear was strapped to his back, enough that it was practically buried his prone figure. Oh, poor Triss. You shouldn't rush him since he's carrying your stuff too, Kalia. He's just carrying my usual bag. The rest is junk I told him to leave behind. He always brings a bunch of garbage we never actually use when we have projects. Jeez. As Lorona begins liberating Triss from his burden, Noletta crouches down next to the body and stretches out her hand. Ah. Her hand halts as the body in question suddenly stirs and rises to his feet. It's alive. Watch out, Noletta, it's a zombie. Zombie? It's a reanimated corpse that likes eating people's brains. Oh. Trying to eat people is bad, Mr. Zombie. Faced with Noletta's inexplicable admonishment, Triss seems at a loss. Hope you enjoyed your nap. These two were the 11-year-old Lyric twins, Kalia and Tristan. Though we make an effort to walk to school together, the Lyrics were habitually late, making today a rare occurrence where all 5 of us were present. As for why Triss was carrying Callia's bags in addition to his own load, it was simple. Callia had no arms to speak of below the elbows. Wounds from the fire of collapse that befell 9 years ago. There were many in Socotrine who bore similar disfigurations. Triss as well had not remained unscathed. The smoke from the prismatic flames of the day had stripped him of his voice, rendering him mute. They were heavy scars, yet they never seemed to weigh down the Lyric twins. Always on the move, with new things happening in their presence all the time, it made me want to continue watching them, to see where they go, and where they might take me. Hello, I'm back. Welcome back, Digital! How's it going? How you doing? Welcome on in. Wow, spring's really shown its full colours early this year. Wandering over to a wayside willow, Lorona marvels at the bed of flowers nestled under its eaves. Aha! I know! Over here, Noletta! Lorona waves Noletta over after picking several flowers from a particularly bountiful patch. Huh? I'm gonna teach you something nice, so listen up. Sent a poem to the community and they thought I was using AI. No way. That's so... What? It's just how you write, I don't... AI, it's different for, It's definitely different when you use an AI to write a poem versus that. I know, I've done research into it for my dissertation. Where using, AI versus using, like, normal writing. It doesn't look like AI generated to me. Taking Noletta's hand in hers, Lorona threads a flower between her fingertips. One way to show people you care about them is to place a flower in their hair, like this. Gently handling Noletta's hand, Lorona guides the flower up and through her carroty locks. Get it? I was like, how? And they said, it's very obvious how you use deep words. You can use, like, simple and deep words. It's not... Oh my goodness. AIs tend to use, like, more simplified stuff anyway if you ask them to, like, write a poem. And they tend to, go with rhyming schemes. They don't... It's a weird one. After examining her newly changed appearance for a bit, Noletta nods. If you understand, then show me. Lorona entrusts the rest of the flower to Noletta with a smile. After gazing at the flowers for a while, Noletta seems to come to some sort of conclusion. Callia, Triss, I care about you. You don't have to listen to everything Lorona tells you, you know. In contrast to Callia's flustered reaction, Triss expresses himself with a heartfelt bow, as if he'd been graced by an angel. Guess it's my turn next. As Noletta reaches out with the last remaining flower though, I'm cast with a spell of whimsy. At the last moment, I tilt my head to the side, causing her to miss. Huh? Noletta attempts to place the flower in my hair again, but I pull away once more. You won't let me? Nope. I don't know how I feel. I'd be annoyed that I'm being compared to a robot, or happy because it's like a compliment that my poem's good to be considered AI. I go with the compliment. If it's always between like a compliment or an insult, go with the compliment. Because if they're comparing you to an artificial intelligence, that's like a fun thing to go for. Hi, Noisy. How's it going? How you doing? I can't have my book out now. Damn it. How's it going? How you doing? Welcome on in. It's story time. Hope you had a wonderful day. You peeping? You coming to my stream? You give me a maid outfit. Cheeky thing. But yes. We're currently doing a bit of a relaxed story time if you wish to get some like cozy background noise. Let me. Undeterred, Noletta tries to put a flower in my hair again. Still, I'm leaving that community due to the assumers of me using AI. I get some bad comments about my poems. Well, that's not fair. At that rate, you should just show them like how you do it, or like have at least like a written copy or something, just to be like, here is like how I worked on it with all the scribbles and stuff, and you just like show that. Doing good, just finished a buffet and now I need help. I'm so full. Honestly, that sounds like a mood, and I hope the buffet was really good. How I literally come up with it on the spot. It's trivial manga. Yeah. The thing is, if they don't respect like the craft, then leave it. I will tell you, if you want less like reactions of people saying that it's AI generated, originally put it down, but double check to make sure that everything's like edited. Write diss tracks. Yeah, do poetry diss tracks. That's also quite fun. But with poetry, it's like it can come up on the spot. But a fun thing to do is write them all down in like a like either a notebook or maybe a Word document or something, and separate them. Then come back to it after like a couple of weeks. I take criticism, sure, but assuming into a rather rude way is not good for me. No, I fully get that. Honestly, I do, because I've had that in the past with like my writing. So it's just put them down, leave them for a couple of weeks. Like, document every poem that you've done. Leave them. Set like a timer to go back to them, and then see if there's like anything you want to tweak, because then you're able to refine the writing. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be learning every time you write something. So it's nice to just put them down, show them in the moment, but then also you can show like a revised version afterwards, which is quite nice. It's good, but I've got a feeling I'm going to pass. Well, I have currently got a story time for you, so if you wish to pass out with a nice story, feel free to stay, you know? Anyway. Noletta can be quite stubborn at times, but I just don't feel like letting her have her way. Document. I don't know how I'll get past poems I sent. No, that's okay. Do it from now on then. Instead of thinking about all the past ones, think about the ones that you start making from now on. We're having a buffet of our own here. I want to go to a buffet now. But I just don't feel like letting her have her way. The last remaining flower. Okay, fine. With a shrug, I stop moving and keep still. But just as she's about to thread the stem through my hair, I pluck it out of her hand, reaching up and setting it upon her snow-white tresses instead. It's a buffet of story. It is! You can write them down, you can draw them, you could do both or neither. You could do whatever you feel like. Because, but at the end of the day, I found that being able to have like a copy for yourself to reflect on like months or even years later has been like a good thing for me. Because I've got lots of stories that I really want to rewrite from how bad I was when I was younger versus like how I write now. Does the maid pal service us tea while we listen? What kind of question is that? Of course I serve tea. What kind of tea though? Because I've got tea as in gossip and I have tea as in like actual tea. Yeah, if you digital, if you want some like okay, I just realized this. I thought the maid outfit was actually your outfit. No, it's like a little it's like a toggle that I have. Don't you worry. I have like a lot of different outfits, so I just like adding the toggles on every so often, which I let everyone else decide when they want them on. The maid one's the most popular. We will take both. Fair enough. I will get the gossip sorted eventually. Putting a finger to her lips, I stick my tongue out at her. Gotcha! I smile and wink triumphantly. Noisy, stop giving the wrong information. Look at her little pout! If we believe it to be. Listen, 2.0, the 2.0 model, it will definitely have a maid outfit toggle. It might just cost me a bit more. It will have like a proper maid outfit on it. It just might be a little bit more and will take a little bit longer. Uh-oh, she looks pretty upset. A pale white flower suits you far more than me anyway. Huh? After puzzling over my words for a moment, Noletta nods quietly to herself. I need to find a flower that suits 80. How sad. It seems there aren't any flowers around here ready for picking. I'm going ahead. Wait! Trisneal needs to help carrying his stuff. But Noletta doesn't seem to hear. 80, Kalia, could one of you lend us a hand? Exchanging a glance with me, Kalia dangles her empty sleeves with a shrug before skipping off ahead. This calls for immediate evasive action. Also, the recording or documentary will be hard as I sent a lot of poems on a daily basis. Today after I left a bit, I've sent at least 6 to 10 poems to other peeps. That's fair. Again, you don't necessarily need to document everything, but it's just before you like finish sending the poem to somebody else, you just like copy it, post it into like a notepad or something, and then you just send it normally. You just have them like anywhere and everywhere if needed. It's something that I've definitely found helping while I was doing my studies, where I'd have like at least a copy somewhere that I could just edit, and then I'd have like the original somewhere else. Like writing is just hard as it is. I'm bad at poetry, so it's a lot different for me. But it was a tip from well-known poets that I went to uni with. It's like, have a notebook, write down everything that you're thinking, because you never know that you can like use that line again, or if it doesn't fit like the other thing that you've got, you just like wait until it's relevant. I produce a scrunched up piece of paper with a broadly ended paragraph, blacked out sentences, and tides of emotion seeping through each stroke. You know what? I'd take it. I'd give an A for that. Yes. You got this, big sis Lorona. Snapping my index fingers at it, I turn on my heels and bolt. Hey! Don't only pull the big sis card when it's convenient. Upon catching up to Kalia's side, I slow to a stroll. Lasagna reclaimed her name. She did! As if in agreement that we had witnessed nothing, the two of us mosey along in silent solidarity. Though I have to say, it's pretty funny how a good of a mood Noletta's simple act has put Kalia in. You know, it's not just Noletta. Bending forward to get a good angle of her face, I gaze into Kalia's eyes. I care about you too. What? Shut up! I'm not stupid! You're just trying to tease me again like you always do. You're such a little troll! How dare you! I am a sweet young girl. Still though, I wonder why this always seems to happen. Up ahead, Noletta was poking through the bushes in search of flowers. Far behind, Lorona and Triss were floundering under the weight of their cargo. Under the promise of budding trees, we once again failed to travel to school as a proper group of 5. I'm gonna leave the stream open as I have to focus for my dinner before it gets burned. You go get your dinner, Digital, don't you worry. Go get that food. Oh, yep. Also, to show Kalia's sign, as you can see, the sleeves are like very baggy, and that's to show that, again, she doesn't have arms. due to the incident. And you can also see like the burns on her faces to like also show that point as well. She okay? There was an incident 9 years ago in that world where she kind of lost her arms. And her brother lost his voice due to inhaling too much like fire smoke. That was in the same situation. So she has a twin. So she's not as mobile, but he can't speak, so they both have to work together usually. Anyway, despite our morning antics, we somehow managed to arrive at school early. Upon entering the one classroom building, an array of empty desks meets us, save for one. And here's the next character. Amidst the illuminating light of early morning, she was there. A young woman whose presence held a mysterious allure to it. Thank you for the care package, Water. Thank you, thank you. With immaculate form and perfect posture, she sat unmoving at one of the far side desks. Good morning, Owena. Hey, Owena. That was too high. Hello, AD, Kalia. Angling her head in our direction, Owena returns our greeting with a vague nod. Also, I wish to say, I love Owena's outfit. Like, I would, for this model, definitely I would consider it. For a story seeming dark, I didn't pay full attention. The colours are nice. Yes. Don't worry, we're at like the lighter parts at the moment. There are like dark bits here, but then it's near the end that gets dark. I didn't know how far I was going to get into the story. So, I didn't actually, I put the warning just in case. I know for a fact that the next one that I do for these, yes, it is like a lot darker. But yeah, the colours are very nice for this one. Yes. While I knew Owena was the oldest student at our school, it was difficult to get a good read on her age, with how her eyes were always bandaged over. A flower that suits 80. I couldn't find one. We made it! No letter! Lorona! And Tristan as well. As if taking his cue, Triss summarily keels over and kisses the ground. Don't mind him, that's just Triss being the usual drama queen. I see. Something felt different about Owena today. She felt absent-minded. Her responses subdued, lacking their usual self-possessed weight. Is something troubling you, Owena? Now that I think about it, wasn't it odd she was sitting back here at the back row desk? Feel free to tell us about it. I love to meddle, you know. You're quite perceptive, aren't you, Adi? With a light chuckle, Owena traces her finger across the surface of the desk before her. It's true that I have something on my mind. As you may know, none of these desks in the back row are currently in use. Everyone occupies some spot in the world in terms of space and resources. However, it is not as though the school is lacking in those. Even though the possibility of filling these vacancies exists, it remains unrealized. Owena's idle hand motions come to a stop, her voice taking on a mysterious tone. It's a strange feeling. This feeling that, where someone could be, there is no one. Where someone could be, there is no one. Owena's words conjure a certain image in my mind's eye. An image of her sitting here, lost in thought, all alone, thinking, perhaps, of the absent warmth of someone who would have been here with us today had the cards fallen differently. Sorry, Owena, but there might be less space in the school than you think. If you look at the desk back here, you'll find they're all stuffed to the brim with books. Seems like the hoard of some hopeless bibliophile. So yeah, we might not actually have any room for new students. The heck? If we don't get any new classmates because AD's such a bookworm, I'm gonna be mad. At least my books don't sell me out. Suppose it would be rather cramped given how lively it already gets around here. I will probably have to report the troublemaker using the school property without permission, though. Take me away, officer. I jest, of course. Schools are for the learning, after all. It is senseless to hit the hen for laying eggs. Now that I think of it, though, the 5 of you are here quite early today. That's right. We're really pumped for today's competition. Is Mr. Naru not here yet? It appears Larona's attempts to resuscitate her fallen comrade have not been bearing fruit. Worry not, father will be arriving shortly. That's right. Though a student in name, it was more accurate to say Oina taught alongside her father, if anything. Oh? Long have I awaited the day my students arrive early. Such is their enthusiasm to learn. I called him Naru instead of Narao. Mr. Narao, an eccentric individual who had constructed the school using his own fortune in the wake of the fire of collapse. The fact that he even personally taught was a testament to his dedication to the next generation. I still remember his baffling self-introduction upon meeting everyone at the beginning of the school year. Narao can be interpreted to mean white wings of learning. It is difficult for you to understand. You may refer to me as Mr. Narao for now. Just like on the first day, our enigmatic teacher was casually totting around the gargantuan valise. I doubt anyone has my morning lark over here beat in terms of getting up at a god-awful hours, though. Parting with one's bedsheet isn't a Herculean ordeal for everyone, Mr. Night Owl. Smiling wryly, Edwina rises to assist Mr. Narao with unpacking the valise's contents. Though she generally relies on a retractable rod to navigate, I've noticed that sometimes she just doesn't seem to need it. I wonder how she does it. That thing sure is living up to its reputation as a bottomless black hole, isn't it? We watch on as the valise palpably shrinks as it's released from its bulging payload. Is this for the construction competition? What looked like a disassembled table and the components of a board game had been laid out before us. About that. I have decided to postpone the bridge building contest until tomorrow. We will be having a lecture on the history of Socratrine instead, with these materials serving as a visual aid. No, it can't be true. It was all in vain. Blah. Letting out a strange cry, Larona sinks to the ground with a soft thwomp. Oh, what a weird noise. Thwomp. Thwomp, thwomp. The floor seems to be quite the popular resting spot today. AD, I don't have to use your materials. Though she probably meant to say something along the lines of, it's good I don't have to impose on you again. I decided to misinterpret it. I see. I knew this day would come. You've finally grown sick and tired of me and my shoddy materials. Huh? I understand, Noletta. I'm just not good enough for you anymore. Even then, I never imagined it would hurt me this much to get discarded and forgotten. Wiping at my eyes, I sniffle and lower my gaze. It's not like I wanted you to use my materials or anything. AD, I'll use your materials, so don't be sad. She looked like she was about to cry. These were actual tears in her eyes. Don't make the baby cry! You're so devoted, Noletta. Unable to contain myself, I giggle as I reach up to pinch her cheek. No. She makes some weird noises, but doesn't try to resist as I play with her face. We will wait for several more students to arrive before commencing class. Our class had around 12 regular students in total. Since it had such a wide age range, lessons could fluctuate from learning basic language one day to advanced science the next. Sweet Summer Child versus Seasoned Tier Beta. Indeed. Indeed. Fortunately, the school was well equipped for dealing with its unique circumstances. I guess that's one perk for being funded by a wealthy teacher. Those of us still standing kill some time by poking at Lerona and Triss before class finally begins. Now then, without further ado, let us begin the lecture on Socrates' history. The entire class was gathered around what could be described as an oversized board game. Hey, it's Catan! It's basically Catan. Mr. Norau always had an unorthodox style of teaching. Conventional teaching tends to lead towards fixed methods and rote memorization, but Mr. Norau was fond of something he called divergent thinking. Neurodivergent thinking. I'm just letting my food sit. It would be cooked and ready to eat, so I'm here. Fair enough. Welcome back. As much as he tries to dress it up, though, I'm pretty sure he just gets bored easily. Is that a map of Socrates? Indeed, it's far from accurate in terms of scale, but this board game has been laid out to simulate Socrates' basic layout. Overall, Socrates can be divided broadly into 5 areas. The Chion Terra Plains, the urban core, the greater and lower Patavelt Highlands, and the muted forest of the east. Oh, and the maid outfit's gone. Yes, so with any of my outfit toggles, they only last for 10 minutes. And I made sure they only last for 10 minutes because I do not want to have the outfit on for that. For like the entirety of the stream. Otherwise it's going to be awkward for people like turning them off and on. Also, sorry, give me a second. I've just had to do something. But yeah, so my outfits only last for like 10 minutes. So anytime someone toggles them, it has a 10-minute timer that goes off, and then once it's gone, it disappears on its own. A very simple trick. And it just makes life easier too. Sorry about the shuffling around, I'm just quickly putting my phone on charge and it was just being a bit awkward. Okay. Anyway. With a wave of his pointing stick, Mr. Norau redirects our attention to the blank boundary surrounding the hexes. One of Socrates' most distinguished features is the dense wall of the unnavigatable mist that surrounds and separates it from the outside unknown land. And funny thing, I almost drained my soup. No, don't drain your soup! I have a really bad rep with soup as it is, so please do not ruin your own soup. Okay. Mr. Naru, what are the board game pieces supposed to be? You can think of the boxes as population concentration indicators and the cylinders as major industrial centers. The big piece in the center represents the heart of Socrates' infrastructure, the capital city of Socotra. AD, where do we live? Probably around here somewhere. As for the school, it's likely near here. AD, maps are really amazing? What do you mean? They show the world like you're high in the sky, even though nobody's been in the sky before. That's not true. I've been in the sky before, you know. Really? Wow. You shouldn't believe everything AD says, no letter. Is this in the year, 195, right? I was born in 194. That is correct. The current board state reflects the state of Socrates 15 years ago, when it was ruled by the old aristocracy. Socrates was the process of recovering from a period of famine and plague, when the Master's Revolution occurred. The Masters' Revolution was when people from the unknown lands came, right? Yes, Socratrine had long been aware of the existence of the unknown lands from artifacts that washed up on the Eviate's northern banks. Sorry, that was a hard one to pronounce. However, 195 marked the first time that the actual people came from beyond the mist. In 1905, 195, a convoy of people describing themselves as refugees from a devastated land sailed down the river Eviate and made contact with Socratrine for the first time. Well, my food is done and my soup is not drained. Still has flavour, thank God. Yay, good job, Digital. Eat that soup. Enjoy that soup. Though the old aristocracy welcomed the refugees at first, they eventually began to suspect that the convoy would attempt a coup. Mustering all of Socratrine's military, the old aristocracy attempted to preemptively capture the refugees. However, they were soundly routed by the refugee convoy's elite combat unit, the Lost Children. Sorry, this... yeah, also, one lost the soup. Two, remember the Lost Children. The Lost Children traumatized me. Ooh, chicken soup's nice. In what came to be known as the Masters' Revolution, the old aristocracy was overthrown and the elite of the Lost Children and refugee convoy, the Valoran Master, was installed as Socratrine's sovereign ruler. The little sister, trust the refugees. No, we trust them. But also, hi Zariel, how's it going? How you doing? How is my favourite demonic older brother? The ad lasted for 10 seconds. Great. Good job. Is it true? Is it true that the Valoran Master was a girl? The Valoran Master was indeed female, though it would be more accurate to call her a woman than a girl. She was a genius swordsman that took down the squad of Socrates' finest all by herself. There are rumours that her unit annihilated armies battling when she was in the unknown lands. Don't mind me with the voices. Good, just having a small meal with the Queen. Ah, I'm glad. I hope you and the Queen are doing a-okay. And I hope the meal's good too. Sounds like she was pretty good at bashing heads. But was the Valoran Master a good ruler? In regards to that, let's jump ahead to the year 200. Mr. Norau takes the opportunity to make adjustments to the board before continuing. The 5 years that follow the Masters' Revolution are often considered a golden age in Socratroni history. That sounds like pasta. Socratroni. Drawing from the advanced technologies, expertise, and knowledge of the refugee convoy brought with them, Socratrine went under a period of rapid innovation and reform. Mortality rates plummeted, and contemporary medical science made its debut, and birth rates skyrocketed as socio-economic living standards improved. Christ. However, all that came to a stop when the Fire of Collapse happened. A solemn silence took over the room as Mr. Norell set about making major modifications to the board. I had been born shortly after the Fire of Collapse, and so I had no memories in the event, but there was no doubt it had been a dark time for Socratrine's history. In August of 200, for reasons that are not known, the shroud of mist that usually only surrounds Socratrine's borders warped and covered the sky. Prismatic flames of unknown properties rained down from the mist, laying waste to major swathes of Socratrine's landscape. The area below Eviate's southern banks suffered serious damage, in particular transforming into unrecognizable wasteland. I'm gonna eat while watching the stream. No worries, Digital. You go enjoy, okay? Look at all those boxes that disappeared. I remember, if you got burnt by that rainbow fire, you had to get special treatment, or else. The refuge of 195 had experienced a similar disaster in the unknown lands, so they were able to provide limited care, but there were too many victims to avoid a great loss of life. The fire of collapse did not mark the end of 200, though. In 195, the Verloren Master had taken on a single Socotroni pupil following her rise to power. Shortly after the fire of collapse, that pupil challenged the Verloren Master to a single combat, defeating her and claiming the title of Socotrine's sovereign ruler as his own. He continued to rule Socotrine to this day. We now know him as Lord Cecil Cotard. 80, that's your daddy, right? Yep, that's my pop, alright. Must have been crazy. Must have been a crazy storm to defeat the Valora Master. I've always wondered what kind of relationship Papa had with his master. I just don't understand. For what reason did Papa feel compelled to usurp the Valora Master? Unfortunately, there is not much insight I can offer on that matter. It is true, though, that Lord Cotard has largely carried on his master's legacy in terms of policy. That just made things more confusing. The pieces simply weren't lining up. Naturally, there were some that opposed Lord Cotard's succession, unconvinced that the inexperienced young Cotard could lead Socotrine in its weakened state. The remnants of the old aristocracy took the opportunity to attempt an uprising. However, having also inherited leadership of the lost children, Lord Cotard crushed the uprising, scattering his opposition and consolidating his rule. It is now at last that we arrive at the current day of 210. Socotrine reconstruction has been slow and steady progress, but it has been helped along by several unexpected boons. Though I mentioned before how the fire collapse had mysterious properties, one particularly unusual effect it had can be observed in what used to be the southern wastelands. It is believed the ashes of the rainbow fire nourished the soil somehow, as the land had recovered at an alarming rate, blooming into what's now known as the... I'm going to struggle with this word every time I say it. Eviat's Garden. It feels like some sort of medieval political problem after hearing some of the words. It is, though. Board game. Board game, yes. Scary how pretty that place is. Main townspeople avoid it because they're afraid of the unfamiliar types of flowers that blossom there. I can't do my voices, I can't consistently do voices sometimes, so please forgive me for that. In any case, that concludes my lecture. Erwina will now take over for any questions that you may have. Passing the helm to Erwina, Mr. Narao retreats to his desk for a breather. I've been curious about this for a while, but why don't the refugees from the unknown lands have a name for the place they came from? That is a delicate topic. It's something of a taboo for the refugees of 195 to speak the name of their homeland. It is believed that many of them, the names of their homeland, is synonymous with atrocity. As such, they are often simply referred to as ULs. In that case, what about the Verloren Master? What was her name before she assumed her title? The Verloren Master is a big enigma even today. Her real name is likely something only members of the Lost Children know. I see. Perhaps I should ask Papa or Mr. Damalore sometime. That's all the question I have for now. Surrendering the floor to the other students, I wander over to the classroom window, lost in thought. Socotrine's closed world dilemma. There had only been one recorded instance of anyone successfully traversing the boundary of the mist that encircles Socotrine's borders. The Verloren Master. How does she lead the refugee convoy to Socotrine? I couldn't help but feel it was a key piece to the puzzle. A puzzle that I've yearned to solve for as long as I can remember. Not enough. It's still not enough. When I come back to myself, I find the class in the midst of lunch break. Look at all the crummies on her cheeks. Wandering over to our usual group's island of desks, I am met with a pleasant surprise. Erwina had pulled her desk over as well, bringing our count up to a total of 6. Erwina usually eats with her father at his insistence, but it seems our capricious teacher was taking a nap, having gobbled up his lunch during the Q&A session. I take my seat amidst an already continuing conversation. That's alright. My twist should question this month. I see. Are you and Trish planning to do anything special for your 12th birthday? Newfound respect wells up inside me as Erwina's ability to comprehend Callier's incoherent gabbling. Callie wasn't very fond of being fed by other people. As such, it was not uncommon for unintelligible gobbling to leave her mouth as she went about stuffing her lunch with her face. Even after the Second Great Food War, many casualties of that dark time, rest in peace, was only ever gained the right to clean her face after the meal. We only ever gained the right to clean her face after a meal. Okay, I'm starting to hate my Wi-Fi. Your voice is like people. Sorry. I'm very sorry if it's your Wi-Fi or if it's me. Did you really? Do I have to say that again? That's right, though. Me and Twish are trying to tofu dismantle. Me and Twish are trying to tofu dismantle. It's my Wi-Fi affair. Jesus Christ, Faith. Well, come on in. How's it going? How you doing? Anyway, it would work better if I stuffed my cheeks because she's currently eating. Second face statement. Hey! Don't let Australians don't gang up on me! I am delicate, thank you. That's alright though. Me and Twish are turning 12 this month though. Yes. Propaganda together strong. Really? Anyway, how's it going? How you doing? It's story time. Yeah. Please correct what I heard. What's it? Galligant or elegant? I think it was. I don't remember, honestly. Good. I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to hear. Well, I have a cat already at my feet who is being fed. We stand together. Jesus Christ, don't make this into a cult. Anyway, while not as animated as Callia, watching Erwina eat was also an interesting experience. The manner in which she confirmed the position of her lunchbox, selected an article of food by its relative remaining proportion, and brought it levelly to her mouth was like clockwork. I'm not sure. My baby will visit Adventure's Jordan? Jeez, Callia, don't I always tell you not to talk with your mouth full? Come on, Spud. You can come up and me. Rhyme story time. A woman saw a man and now they married. The end. Yep, a good story. Jeez, Callia, don't talk with your mouth full. A Violet's garden though, huh? That's a wonderful spot to go for your birthday. Could it be somehow that I'm the abnormal one for having no clue what Callia is saying? As she alternates between chastisement and casual conversation, Lorona picks out a tasty-looking morsel from Tristan's lunchbox. Since the 5 of us always share our lunch together, we have a habit of taking from each other without restraint. It was something we did even without thinking about it. Oh, thank you. Head pats are always welcome. And I like having the head pat emote anyway, so enjoy it if you wish to. So it wasn't hard to understand why our guest, Erwina, froze in shock when her spoon suddenly encountered Tristan's fork scrounging around her lunchbox. Thank you for the head pat, Digital. Thank you, thank you. Ah, more head pats. Thank you, thank you. Eh? Ah. What are you doing, Trish? I'll just go poking through Erwina's lunch without her permission. A brutal kick from Kalia to some undefined location under the desk causes Trish to spray a mouthful of his lunch all over an unfortunate Lorona. I'll be honest though, it'd be 3 hands head patting you. Yeah, that's fine. Come on. Come on. There we go, buddy. Well, I now officially have cat on lap. Yeah, what's happening? Thank you for the head pat. Thank you, thank you. You'll have to forgive us, Erwina. We're all accustomed to sharing our food with each other. I guess Trish couldn't resist seeing how tasty your food looked. Ah, Daniel, how could you? How could you? Oh, my cheeks. Is that so? Erwina paused for a second as she considers my words. In that case, allow me to sample what you've brought as well. A well-meaning smile rises to her lips as she's pushing her lunchbox forward, signalling it's fine to take from her. As an invitation to the 5 of us... Ah, I skipped because I got trigger happy. Boop. As an invitation to the 5 of us, who had always been curious about our palette of rich people, eagerly dig in. Oh, it's so delicious! I didn't know you were such a good chef, Erwina. Hey, Trish, stop stuffing yourself and give me the rest of that bourgeois. The bougie goods. Naturally, Kalia didn't seem to have any issue accepting aid when it came to jacking the best parts of a meal. Come on, Noletta, open up. You can't just eat nothing but pasta all day. Well, say ah. I poke at Noletta's mouth with a spoonful of Erwina's lunch until she reluctantly parts her lips. Getting this child to eat something other than pasta could often be quite the struggle. After ensuring that Noletta would be safe from malnutrition for another day, I have a sample of my own. So this was what Erwina ate. Though it was certainly tasty, something seemed a bit off about it. Just to clarify, I didn't make any of this. It gets a bit chaotic when I'm in the kitchen. As if recalling a silly memory, Erwina shakes her head. Of course, Father didn't make it either. With measured movements, Erwina probes the lunchboxes we had placed in front of her for easy access. How do you fancy the dishes of commoners, my lady? Refreshingly proletarian, if I may say. Why, I simply must have more. I'm really quite fond of your lunches, though. How do I describe it? It feels like they were somehow made with warmth. I much prefer them to my own. Indeed, though the taste was on point somehow, Erwina's lunch didn't feel very filling. It was strange. I'm glad you like it. Feel free to eat again with us any time. If you ever find your pops snoozing through lunch again, you're welcome to hang out with the cool kids. Worms, Trish, and are fine with it, I guess. Meanwhile, the Lyric twins tried to play it cool as they rapidly clean Erwina's lunchbox of its contents. You have my gratitude. Let us rendezvous in the future again sometime. The simple act of sharing one's food with others makes it tastier after all. Can't wait until tomorrow though. Me and Trish spent all night yesterday studying up on bridges. There's no way we'll lose. Ah, I'm supposed to do it in this voice now. There's no way we'll lose. Damn it, I mugged up. No. It's fine, I'll recover. What What I understand about the rich and common foods, both can be poisoned, both can be delicious, but mostly of the common has more portions than rich. Yeah, pretty much. If there's less of it, it's more expensive. The rich need to try scarcity, while the commoners need to try fulfillment. Perhaps it was meant as a declaration to resolve something of the sort. With how her face was innocuously smeared with food, she looked more like a bib-totting toddler than a bold competitor. Unable to stomach the yucky sight, Trish immediately butts in and starts wiping Kalia down with a handkerchief. Jeez, Trish, can't you read the atmosphere? Trish just confidently stands up. Atmosphere? I can read it. Forget what I said before, Rowena. We're not cool kids at all. We're pretty lame, actually. With an inquiring tilt of her head, Rowena listens on as the rest of us break out in laughter. She probably didn't fully understand what's going on, but she smiles warmly at the good cheer we surround her with. Meals really are the best when shared in the company of others. Oh? Hasn't lunch break been over for a while now? Yes, but it appears that Mr. Narao has more pressing obligations to attend to. Our ever-dedicated school teacher was currently in the process of revising today's lesson plans with his face drool. He fell asleep again? How many times must he be punished before he learns his lesson? With a grin that proves he's up to no good, Trish taps on Kalia's shoulder and gestures shadily at Mr. Narao's defenseless figure. Comprehending his intention with ease, Kalia snickers impishly. Hey, Arena, would you turn a blind eye if we decided to play a prank on your dad? Gaffs. Suppose it can't be helped, just don't let things get too out of hand. Gaffs everywhere. Alright, good, so Arena's in. What should we do now, though? The lyrics' repertoire of pranks was quite expansive, but their usual antics wouldn't cut it if they wanted to do something Owena could appreciate. Scanning the room for ideas, my eyes catch on Noletta as she plays around with Susie, a younger classmate. The little ones were teasing Noletta in a saccharine voice as she floats a balloon in and out of her reach. The scales have fallen from her eyes. The scales have fallen from my eyes. We'll give him helium voice. With a grand gesture, I direct everyone's attention to the enlightening scene before us. In the highest form of approval, Trish spontaneously produces a white cat from somewhere. I begin stroking like an evil mastermind. No. There's no... like, how did he get the cat? That's what we have to know. How did he get the cat? Magic, indeed. I'm really feeling it. Magic cat, yes. I really feeling it. Firing off a clawful pun, Callie and Triss set off to produce the balloon. Father with 2 out of 10 pun. Fair enough. Father with helium voice. I cannot say the prospect is without appeal. You shouldn't do bad things to those who are sleeping. Remember the last time you tied my sleeves together when I was sleeping? That was so mean. T-Rex Lorona is best Lorona. Didn't even get the pun. That's fair. Likely due to her overloaded schedule, Lorona had a habit of switching off whenever she was rendered even remotely cozy. Bit of a catastrophe. Yes. But oh no. Boop. Naturally, that put her on the receiving end of countless pranks on our part. It's also really bad to fall asleep in class as a teacher. I don't know. I can't stop Mr. Narao squeaking like a cute little mouse. With our moral compass compromised by internal conflict, there was nothing left to stand in the way of our schemes. Certainly made me pause. Upon successfully persuading the owner, The Lurret twins return with no letter and balloon in tow. Alright, so who'll be the lucky soul carrying this out? Triss is good at being quiet. As if he'd been shot through the heart, Triss slumps to the ground, cat scampering from hand. This isn't even gaff territory anymore. This is just plain harassment. Did I miss any more males? Because I only see one male in the game. Did I miss one when I was cooking or gone spreading poems? Nope. The only other male that we've seen on screen has been, there's been AD's father, which was only for a short period of time. But no, Triss has been the only, like, male that has a model on the screen at the moment, apart from the father. Okay. Triss is KIA. I'm not suitable for the job because reasons, and no letter in Lorona, no letter in Lorona. Therefore, I nominate AD to bear the torch. I will seize the scepter of victory. Roused by Kalia's flawless reasoning, I brandished a balloon in steeled resolve. If what you need to do entails ensuring that father stays asleep, I can also be of service. He has a peculiar habit of sleeping deeply when his head is scratched a certain way. With uncanny composure, Erwina discloses shocking intel to us. Aw, he's like a kitty cat. It's decided then. Let Operation Felium begin. With a grand sweeping motion, I announce the commencement of our mission. I'll be counting on you to disable the dragon while I sneak into his lair to loot the gold, Erwina. Today is the first time we've involved Erwina in one of our missions. As such, no matter how fraught with peril this undertaking may be, failure cannot be allowed. Mission start. Did I just hear Felium? Felium. Helium and father, or like helium and feline. Ducking into the shadows of one of the first row desks, I stand by as Erwina moves into position. With the wisdom of a weathered sage, she works her magic, chanting forbidden verses from a world beyond our own. Meow, meow, meow. These verses, of course, have a mild resemblance to the mewing of a kitten, but I digress. The slumbering dragon dangling glob of jewel expands in size as the great sorcery takes effect. When Erwina signals in my general direction, I rapidly commence my infiltration. Posturing myself next to the throne, I look back to see that all of our comrades are watching with bated breath. Everyone is counting on me. Reveling in the sensation of pressure, I carefully undo the knot keeping the balloon shut before bringing it to my quarry's mouth. Doing this properly was a delicate balancing act. Too little and have no effect. Too much and our harmless prank could veer into dangerous territory. It's now or never. Gauging the rhythm of its inhalations, I wait for the perfect window to release the balloon's opening. The dragon's eyelids twitch in discomfort as its lungs abruptly fill with helium. Fall back! Fall back! Pulling away, I whisper as loud as I dare to Erwina. I pressed the wrong button. Sorry, I put it in big screen mode instead. I forgot that's how that happens. Oopsie. Sorry. The two of us swiftly withdraw, taking our seats just as Mr. Norau stirs and shakes his head in disorientation. Noticing the room full of diligently waiting students, he opens his mouth to apologize. Oh dear, my apologies for keeping you all waiting. His squeaky voice issues a series of sniggers from the kids with less restraint. Didn't even see what happened. I was drinking soup. Fair enough. Is there something on my face? Faced with his clueless expression, even the students with greater willpower beginning to waver. What's going on? At the classroom full of children on the verge of cracking, Mr. Norau could only look on in confusion. Erwina, what did you guys do? Whatever do you mean, Father? The students are merely amused by the squeaky persona you suddenly started acting out. The dam finally breaks as Erwina's feign of ignorance. Unable to hold it back anymore, the room floods with bouts of laughter. Huh? Don't you mention it, my voice does sound unusually high-pitched. Who did this? Mr. Narao's attempt to menace us in the harmless mousy voice prompts several kids to fall out of their seats. The sight of everyone rolling around the floor as they held their stomachs was quite the spectacle. Gil do be mocking, what a menace. I know, but she's fabulous, and we love her. Mr. Narao's eyes sweep over the classroom, angrily for a while before eventually coming to rest on a certain desk. Bring the balloon here for your birthday, Susie? Mr. Narao presses a palm into his face as he pieces it together. You mischievous little cretins. That's it. Outside right now. 10 laps around the schoolyard for all of you. Even the dispensing of our punishment only goads more laughter out of us because it's delivery in a shrill, innocuous voice. When I look over at Oweena's seat, it pleased me to see that she is laughing her heart out alongside the rest of us. Even after carrying out our penance, the only thing anyone had to say about the ordeal was, worth it. She would be the perfect match of a manga character I know. I call him the blind Rizzler. Wow. Stoic and detached, that was the kind of air Oweena always seemed to carry around her. I'm glad we were able to close the distance and see her smile wholeheartedly for once. Mission accomplished. After grumpily instructing us through the remainder of afternoon lessons, Mr. Narao dismissed the class for the day. With Triss leaving the bulk of his materials at school, we had a considerably lighter load to bear as we parade into town. Also, little town thing for you. It looks so good! The blind menace and the blind Rizzler. What a duo. One mocks, one resists. What a combo. I know I said I'd tag along, but I can't really stick around for anything too lengthy. Due to her talent and unique aesthetic, there was a generous demand for Larona's hand-woven products. Balancing school and work must have been surely taxing, but you'd never guess it looking at her ditzy smile. Yep, we're just stopping by the Morella Bakery for a bite. I reassure us we make a final turn that places us squarely at our destination. Placing my hand on the door, I stop and exchange a glance with the Lyric twins. I wonder if they're thinking the same thing as I am. With a puckish grin on their faces, they nod back at me. Newfound determination lights inside me as I push open the door to a familiar reception. Welcome to the Morella. The docile voice that greets us quickly transforms into squeaks of terror as the three silhouettes dash forward with impeccable speed. Super spontaneous! Pickle attack! With the coordination of a seasoned wolf pack, Triss and I brutally close in on our target's flanks as Kalia circles behind for the takedown. Tickle tickle! Tickle tickle! Glomp! Nom! Stop! Alouette can't take anymore! After biting into the spoils of our successful hunt to our heart's content, we finally relent to let Alouette catch her breath. I can't believe we're all on the same page. The Lyric twins exchange a painful look, or head five to celebrate our clean kill. Also, Toa QT, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the archives, the memberships at the front desk. It's a pleasure to meet you. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And I hope you're enjoying a little sit down for a relaxing time with a story. Forward 5, celebrate our clean kill. Oh, not so hard, dummy. Not everyone is as blockheaded as you are. Trish dances out the way as Kalia attempts to avenge their collective loss of brain cells with an angry knee. A joint maneuver from the three directions at once to pincer the target. Double envelopment, a classic tactical stratagem topped off with a rear blindside to seal the deal. All executed perfectly with a minimum of communication. Woo, we're really breathing in sync. Yay. Though she doesn't really seem to get why, an enthused Noletta joins on our cheering. You guys are so scary. After regaining control of her breathing, Alouette finally recovers from our trouncing and manages to get back on her feet. Wow, you really surprised me, Alouette. Alouette back here. A young woman in a stilted style of speaking who works at the Morella Bakery. Though she was twice my age with change to spare, the impression she gives off could be likened to a small woodland animal. Why is Alouette so irresistibly huggable? This calls for further investigation. Patapian! In the name of science, I press my cheek against her and start nuzzling her. Pachi pachi! Heading off to take a shower with the Queen and then head to bed. Hope the rest of the stream goes well. Thank you, Zamiel. I hope you have a wonderful shower and a wonderful sleep. Hulva amicha. Goodbye for now. Alouette responds with a similar nonsense noise as she caresses my head with a serene expression. Yeah, I think it's also because of this I go patchy patchy quite a bit. Like in random moments I will just like make random noises, and I think it's because of just seeing it with Alouette that kind of inspired a little bit of like saying patchy patchy. Hey, me too! Me too! Poopa! The Lyric twins push and shove as they struggle for the right to be spoiled by Alouette as well. Oh what? Alouette only has 2 hands! Well, Alouette has 2 younger siblings she was used to pampering. 3 at once must have been beyond what she was accustomed to. Ah yes, head pats equals patchy patchy. Patchy patchy. Yeah? You look like a sunbathing kitten, Alouette. There are ways of reaching out and connecting with others, even for those who are poor at expressing themselves through speech. It was through interacting with Alouette through such method, touch, that we've come to understand how much of a sweetheart she truly is. Hey, can't you see you're imposing on Alouette? Seemingly interrupting Alouette's monopoly of our noggings and infringement of her territory, Lorona tries peeling us away. Because Lorona can dole out wicked pats too. But though she does her best to emulate Alouette, it's simply not meant to be. It doesn't feel half bad when you brush my hair, but you suck at giving out head pats, Lorona. With a solemn shake of his head, Trisha extends a disapproving thumbs down. Eh? I don't get it. How hard could it be? Lorona, my friend, the art of head pats is a path that only can be pursued when one has cleared their mind and heart. Isn't your anxiety and jealousy bleeding into your movement? Unable to be sated by Lorona's ham-fisted malarkey, we abandon her in favour of Alouette's seamless strokes. No! Where did I go wrong? When did I stray from the light? It was no exaggeration to say Alouette was a master at this haptic form of communication. The way she gradually adjusted pressure from delicate to firm, migrated at perfect intervals from spot to spot, and mixed it up between her nails, finger pads, and palms was simply superb. Well, so blunt. They were like, you suck. They're children, what do you expect? They're like 11 years old. But even more important is that her peerless form and technique was the calming aura and pure intent for her movements projected. Whenever she touches you, it feels like your heart connects with hers for the briefest moments. Noletta too? Alouette? Well, Pat's Noletta too. Noticing Noletta standing off by herself, Alouette tries reaching out to her. However, Noletta doesn't budge an inch. Without a word, she stares on silently at Alouette's outstretched arm. Unsure how to interpret Noletta's response, Alouette tiptoes into her range and bashfully runs her fingers against Noletta's snow-white tresses. Meep, Mill, Noletta has such soft, poofy hair. Yeah, that's no good, Noletta. You can't get head pats unless you make gibberish sounds too. Yeah. Wow, you sound like a constipated cat. You have to put your heart into it, Noletta. However, Noletta steps back from Alouette in a show of unmistakable rejection. Eh? Though she seemed confused and distressed, Alouette's attention is quickly diverted by the needy Lyric twins. What's the matter, Noletta? Siding up to her, I whisper to her in a hushed voice. Alouette smells. You have a death note. No, this is my magic book. Pal, don't write my name down, I begs. Hiya, EXO! How's it going? How you doing? Welcome on in. We currently got a story time. This is like a linear visual novel, so I thought reading this would be quite fun. And I like reading, so this helps. And no, this is not a death note, this is my magic book. Magic book equals death note. Slightly different. Sounds fun. Yes, indeed. I just have fun like reading, so I wanted to tell a story. Well, I wanted to tell this story because this is what kind of inspired me to do more writing, I guess. When, like, my perspective on writing shifted when I read this. So, I'm having fun voicing everybody. Which is kind of hard because it's just one person doing multiple voices, which might not sound, like, different to people, but it sounds different to me. Is that what that is? I'm pretty sure she knows how to bathe on her own, unlike a certain someone at first. My banter doesn't seem to lighten the mood, though. Hi, pal, just dropping in before I head to bed. Hope you have a wonderful day. Hiya, Yumi! I hope you have an amazing sleep, okay? Have the most sweetest dreams. Huilva Amitrohan. Also, I made cookies yesterday, but they're not as good as yours. Feel you, pal. I'm tone deaf, so stuff sounds different to me, but I'm just straight up dead voice the entire time. Honestly, valid. It's like, I'm very good at reading stuff, I think. I hope I'm good at reading stuff. I only got that narrator and reading bedtime voices that aren't dead. Honestly, valid. I'm at least able to do, like, some uppity characters and maybe, like, some form of calm narration. But I'm learning how to, like, express myself more and do this sort of stuff. Which is kind of why I play more, like, story games. Because I'm able to just experiment with that sort of thing. Ooh, fun. Yeah. She smells like mist. It's different, but also the same. Ah, that's so. I don't know what you mean by that, but she's a good-hearted person. Always has a smile on her face. Smiling all the time. It's the same. The same as never smiling. But Adie's right. Alouette's not fake. We should play Danganronpa and go to series. I want to play Danganronpa, but I want to play with like somebody else so I don't have to voice it all alone. That'd be good for me. Oh, fake. What meaning did that word hold to Noletta? Regardless, it didn't seem like she disliked or distrusted Alouette. That's fair. Yep. I'm not sure I get it then. But Noletta merely shakes her head. I don't know. There are many questions I want to ask, but I decided to stop pressing Noletta for now. Saving up and waiting for the sales. Yeah, same here, don't you worry. Sorry, we're not trying to force you to do anything you're uncomfortable with. I'll make it up to you later with those special AD brand behind the ear rubs you like, okay? Meanwhile, judging by their salivating maws, it seems like the Lyric twins' minds have already moved on to something else. That smell's got me hankering to sink my teeth into something already. You're like a teething puppy, Kalia. As soon as 1 and 2 are cheaper, I'm insta-buying. Go for it. The pal approval right there. Go get him. Go get him, Tiger. Anyway. The aroma of baked sweets was certainly enticing enough to justify the obscene growls coming from Tristan's stomach. Though judging by his dreamy expression, he had already skipped ahead of us and ascended to the confectionery heaven. Looks like my valuable taste testers are finally here! With a thunderous entrance, the person we've been waiting for emerges from deeper within the building. The owner and principal baker of this establishment, Mr. Morella. He was a hearty-built man who laughter made buildings tremble in their foundation. 3 is apparently not something you should play, but instead Ultra Despair Girls, according to my friends. However, 3 is a story game, while Ultra Despair Girls is a shooter thing. Very odd. Very odd, but it's to do with, like, the story and, like, stuff. Which, yeah, that's fine. It was something of a routine for us to taste test samples whenever he came up with a new recipe. Hence why we were here today. Been tinkering with the nitty-gritties of this batch for a while now. Come, you'll be first to try it out. The big man smiling jovially as he brings out a tray of cake and begins portioning it out with a knife that seems comically small in his massive paws. While free treats wasn't anything to sneeze at, the most rewarding part for me was how Mr. Morella used our feedback to push the limits of his work. Apparently Danganronpa is very hated, which confuses me because I enjoyed it when I was younger. Huh. The more you know. Well, the more I know, definitely now. It's fun being part of the process of iteration and refinement behind creating a new dish. I played the first game when I was 8. 8? Jesus Christ. Strawberry and lychee cakes is the name of the game this time around. Triss, you dirty rat. Don't go nibbling the corners off my piece while handing it to me. Callia berates Triss noisily as she smears crumbs all over her nose and cheeks. Jesus, it's been a decade. Been a while then. But Trish just shrugs haughtily in response, as if only rightfully taxing someone of his services. Nobody asked you for your help in the first place. With a ferocious lunge, Callia knees her supposed benefactor in the gut, causing him to spew his mouthful all over Larona's nearby figure. Why me again? Ow, it's all over Larona. Look at what you did, dimwit. I have to true the games because my parents threw my games out. No, that's not fair. That's so rude of them. There are better ways to tell a girl you like them, Triss. Mr. Morella guffaws at the lively scene as Alouette and I help pick off the pieces of cake out of Larona's hair before remorsefully kowtowing Tristan. Collateral damage. That's why my Sachirine would have called it if she were here. Sachirine was Mr. Morella's cutesy way of referring to his wife, which never ceased to amuse me considering how powerful and influential she is. A UL refugee well-versed in technology, Sachi Morella was one of the principal forces behind the development of Socotrine's economic sector through its golden age and reconstruction. You have a very nice reading voice, thank you. Give me the Welsh accent too, but you sound lovely. Aw, thank you. Honestly, I like reading a lot. So whenever I'm usually alone, I do narrate some of the things that I read. Or I have, an inside voice, narrating stuff, but I do genuinely enjoy, reading stuff out. I sometimes can get very shy, but this is kind of a way for me to get over it, because there's nobody in the room, staring at me as I do it. It is just, I'm looking at a screen, I'm reading what I've got, it's all well and good, and I'm just having fun with it. My brain went to a weird joke. Oh god. If it's Twitch appropriate, feel free. Read me one of your French books. The last book I read in a different language was Spanish, and that was to do with a blood wedding, I think it was. I think the English title is Blood Wedding. But hey, I could read you a French book, it's just I haven't read French in a while. Anyway. Oop. Her union with Mr. Morella had been a celebrated moment in history, marking the first time a native Socotrine and UL refugee were joined in matrimony. I haven't seen Sachi around lately. I hope Papa's not fostering too much of his responsibilities onto her. All I see of Satirine nowadays is her sulky face when she comes here for a tea break to kvetch about work. I have to scold Papa for her when I get the chance. I'm sure she'd appreciate it, sure, Ade. Her Socotroni custom, sure, was a polite term used in conjunction with a shortened form of the name to address children. Though it's considered endearing, family members and friends rarely use it since it's somewhat formal. Oh, no, I was just making a paint like one of your French girls jokes. You don't have to go out your way to read me a French book. I'd do it anyway. I knew what joke you're making, don't you worry. I have plenty at home. Valid. Hey, Killer, how's your day going? Hi, Infame. I'm doing okay, thank you. How about you? How's it going? How you doing? Seems like we have quite a bit left over. I've decided. Lorona, take the rest home and make sure those unsnarf... the little unsnarf it down something good. Also, French. Hi, Maz. How's it going? How you doing? Welcome on in. Listen, French is there. Just came back from a night run with my motorcycle. Oh, fancy. No injuries, I hope. You're gonna get Napoleon. Oh dear. Yeah? Are you sure I can really take all this? They don't get to eat sweets too often, do they? It's a cardinal sin for kids not to have any sweets. Giving Lorona no leeway to decline, Mr. Morella packed up the remaining cake and thrust it into her hands. You're always looking after those orphans as if they were your own children. It's like you're their mom. Mommy Lorona! No, it's nothing like that. Getting flashed by cars in my face while I was playing Valorant. Okay, so but no injuries, correct? If anything, I'm more like the fussy big sister. Make sure to eat up and get them nice and plump. Thank you, Mr. Morella. Well, I guess a bite or two on the way back wouldn't hurt anyone. No. I'm struck by an ominous premonition as Lorona idly chips away at the cake entrusted to her. Optimistic estimates project only a handful of crumbs surviving the journey home. Perhaps a dab of frosting for feeling generous. So what's the verdict of this trial, children? Well, no. Oh dear. But about yesterday, I went through some disaster. Again? What kind of disaster this time, Infame? I swear. Valorant flashes would feel like that IRL, wouldn't they? Probably. I don't play Valorant? I don't know. Mr. Morella's eyes glint in anticipation of what we had to say. If anyone next to Lorona, I will riot. She'll be fine. Having carefully considered the dessert for a while now, I open my mouth to give my evaluation. Contrasting the floral honey flavour of lychee with the tartness of strawberry is a pretty neat idea. I'm not so sure about the execution though. The consistency of the cake is sort of heavy. I don't think that's the direction you want to take with this type of dish though. Have I told you that I've started teaching my friend how to ride? I don't think you have actually. That's quite nice. Instead of a pound cake like crumb, I think a looser and fluffier texture will help showcase the lychee's strength better. I'm really fond of how you use the strawberries though. They're like little acerbic checkpoints that reset your taste buds to keep the sweet parts fresh and free from staleness. Overall, I say it's tasty and has lots of potential. So I started teaching my friend how to ride a bike with my bike, but he made us almost fall off a broken bridge. Jesus Christ! You did not fall off the broken bridge, correct? That's good. It's sweet. Mr. Morella nods deep in thought at the comprehensive input we provide him. I screamed from behind us to use the brakes, and I saw the road condition while he crossed the bridge and made us go downhill. As soon as the bike stopped, we had to push the bike up the bridge again. Jesus Christ. I'm glad you survived at the very least. Anytime you come in here, you always have like a story of how you've ended up hurting yourself. And like I'm the dad and teaching my son how to do certain things. It does seem that way. Who knows, if pushed to limits, perhaps this one could even be a regular selection of the bakery. Or a regular selection of the bakery? To hear such words praised from sure Addy. In his excitement, Mr. Morella slams his hands down on the nearest counter with such force, the resulting mini-earthquake causes our feet to leave the ground. As always, your feedback helps immensely. You can do it, yeah! Practically bringing down the ceiling as he skips away, Mr. Morella returns to the kitchen with renewed zeal. It's a nice feeling, helping someone pursue their passion. Edie's so smart. She always knows what to say at times like these. I don't know. So many bigger words. That's because she inhaled books like some sort of brain slug. What cheek. That reminds me. Pretending to have business elsewhere, I slipped behind Kalia and Jumper. Haven't filled my daily quota for brains yet. Yeah, don't gnaw my head like that. Stop! This feels so weird. Every day something happens, good or bad. That makes sense. As long as you take the good and then you learn from the bad. Not one to be left out, Trish joins in and begins grinding his teeth against her scalp, like about a brain sucking of his own. They're eating me! Riders of street races, life full of adventures. That's fair. But please stop. Whatever you're doing, it's sending shivers down my spine. Trying to eat people is bad, AD. Triss. Anyways, we should be going now. It's probably best to wrap things up now, for Larona's sake. We'll resume our inquiry into our huggability at a later date, Alouette. Quibby. Dap-a-doo. Alouette gives us some final parting scritches before returning to man the counter. See you, Alouette. Play with us again sometime. I'll return the tableware next time I drop by. Have a nice day, Alouette. Bye-bye. Waving goodbye to her, we depart from the Morella Bakery. And then we make sure everyone goes home. After going our separate ways with Larona and the Loritz at the stream's bend, Noletta and I spot the two figures in the distance as we near the Rue cabin. It was Brestle and Mr. Damalore, Papa's proverbial right hand. As they draw near, I take note of a big pot in Brestle's hand. Yeah, I gave him a test filter through the traffic and he stalled the bike midway 4 or 5 times. Hey, he's learning. And 4 or 5 is better than 6 or 7. Brestle, I'm back. What's in the pot? Oh, it's empty. It's not. How do you know? Who would lug an empty pot along like that, Brestle? Me. I can smell it. Did you make pasta? Yeah. But you can't eat it. Why not? Faced with Noletta's inquiring gaze, Brestle shifts uncomfortably. Well, seeing that he's struggling, Mr. Damalore chooses to speak up. At the end of the session, he couldn't, open his hands, and his hand was vibrating. Yeah, that seems about right. Your brother is still learning, Charlotta. He made several errors with this batch, and therefore does not wish to share it. I believe he wants to make sure it's perfect before sharing it with you. Oh. You'll make something as good as Mr. Damalore? Yeah, might take a while, but look forward to it. Okay, I'll wait for you. These two have such a cute relationship. Makes me a bit jealous. You offer to take Brestle as an apprentice in either sword or colouring arts, right, Mr. Damalore? I think he's nice he chose to go with cooking. I am of the same opinion. Without transparent Brestle was, anyone could tell he chose the path of cooking so he could cook lots of pasta to make his sister happy. Though I hope he branches out eventually. Noletta really needs to start eating her veggies. By the way, Mr. Damalore, why do ULs even use swords in the first place? One would imagine much deadlier weapons could be produced with UL technology. Quite observant of you, Sho Addy. As the oldest member of the Lost Children, I remember a time where our homeland used firearms known as guns to fight. They enabled you to kill someone with a simple pull of a finger, making even children deadly combatants in war. When the calamities overwrote the laws of our world, many of the projectile weapons were depended on lost their effectiveness. However, that did not end our wars. Our homeland simply took up the sword to continue its bloodshed. Do not be mistaken, though. UL arms and armor are produced from the state-of-the-art technology. Our weapon theory has been forged in the flames of countless wars. He's got a long way to go, to be honest, but when he buys himself a bike, I'm going to do some sus things to it in front of him. Oh, okay. Okay, as long as it's appropriate sus, I guess. I don't know. I do not know what to respond with that one. For example, the Lost Children's signature weapon, the Reaper Blade. A peculiar double-edged curved sword that enabled the user to deliver crippling low-line cuts from unconventional angles. Oh yeah, this came up in class, but do you know what the Rilurin Master's name was? Master's name? Mr. Damalore makes a difficult expression at my question. She didn't have one. Huh? I was like most people in the war, someone who was dropped onto the battlefield. But Master was different. She was born on the battlefield. The closest thing she had was a name to call her sign. The name was a call sign. I see. Names don't seem like the hottest trend in the unknown land. A name is something that should be treasured. I've come to understand that after serving under one who has never known that simple blessing. Something we take for granted. Something we should take for granted. Yet it could not be said for everyone possessed that small, ordinary treasure. In any case, the young master will not be returning tonight, Short Addy, so allow me to prepare you your dinner for tonight. Oh, leaving me by my lonesome again. What an awful papa. On the contrary, it's because the young master's thinking of you that he sent me here. I do have some business to attend before, though, so I shall be taking my leave for now. With that, Mr. Damalore melts into the shadows of sunset, leaving the three of us behind. You can go ahead and play with 80, Noletta. I'm tired, so I'm gonna go in and rest. Why? You'll get lonely. What? No, I won't. You will. No. You will. Why don't you play with us too, Brestle? Then no one will be lonely. But I need to find out why I messed up this batch. Mr. Damalore said I had to figure it out. Is that so? Let's do that together then. I'm pretty good at critiquing food, you know. Ooh, okay. 80s 80s critiquing is scary, though. Don't worry. If you cry for over 10 minutes, I'll stop. Why only more than 10 minutes? Having persuaded Brestle, the three of us set towards my house. Must be nice having a big brother that looks after you, Noletta. Brestle looks after me? Noletta makes a mystified expression as if she had just claimed pigs were flying through the sky. No, I'm the one that looks after Brestle. If I don't make him eat, he goes hungry without saying anything. If I don't hold his hand, he can't fall asleep. He gets lonely and cries easily. He has trouble opening jars. Noletta, what are you telling AD? Don't worry, I already know most of those things. That's not all. Noletta always chases away anyone that bullies Brestle. Isn't that right, big brother Brestle? I tease Brestle in a sing-songy voice, causing him to pucker up like a sad puppy. Are you bullying Brestle now, AD? Yep, so you better chase me away. Okay. Don't chase her! The comical turn of events, Brestle starts chasing after Noletta, who is chasing after me. Hey. Too slow! It was true that Noletta had always been to be taking care of her awkward older brother, but having someone to look after like that was a treasure in its own right. Being an only child, it made me a bit envious. Why are you like this, Noletta? It was a peaceful scene, being pursued by a pair of silly siblings beneath the evening sun. This ordinary daily life full of tiny miracles. The hope that tomorrow will just be as golden as what it allows me to accept today must end. Every book always ends the exact same way. Vacant page. From zero back to zero, huh? The blank pages found at the end of the story never failed to fill me with a gaping sense of emptiness. The end of an adventure. The freezing of time in the world encapsulated by the book. It made me feel lonely thinking the author's pen has stopped, leaving the characters trapped in a limbo of unwritten inaction. The characters in a book cannot move without a writer's conception, and sorry, I just brain farted on a word. Without a writer's conception and a reader's acknowledgement. Forever bound by the unseen script of a god that they can never know of. They exist as nothing unless imbued with the willingness of that god. I really shouldn't read another. Though it's getting quite late into the night, I don't want to stop reading. The feeling of emptiness that a book ends instills can be filled by starting a new book after all. Just like a thin finger turning back a page, or perhaps like taking a second volume into one's hand. So long as the sorrowful reader continues to reject reality, the story will go on forever. A nursery rhyme from the New World where the lonely me fell in love with a book. Characters she'd been with throughout their entire lives, dear companions she had come to form a bond with. Yet at the book's end, they could no longer stay by her side. So the lonely me asked of the sorrowful me. For another dream, another meeting, another parting. A cruel poison, a sweet, necessary pain. That is what stories are. I rub my tired eyes as I gaze out the window into the quiet night. The illuminating warmth of the sun had faded long ago, draping the land in an uncertain darkness. Everything is cozier in candlelight. When the real world goes fuzzy, the world on the page grows sharper. Nothing eases poison down the throat better than emptiness. An empty, unchanging world so much like that of a golden dream. It always filled me with an uneasy restlessness, being alone like this. Now it was many hours later, and I was still up in Mother's room. That's right. Whenever I read a book Mother left behind, a warm feeling always wells up inside me. A feeling I'm always reluctant to let go of. Though this wasn't actually her room, when she died we moved away from the house where she once lived. This room merely held all the books that once belonged to her. Papa had brought them along, not wanting to leave them behind to gather dust in the old house. The Golden Dreams archives dwarfed it, but it lacked the soul that laid in Mother's private collection. Pages that carried a distinct scent, bindings worn by the passage of time. Within the crinkled sheets there lay a certain feeling. A wistful kind of despair, one that denied a reality that was far too cruel. Hey, Mother. The lonely me. That person was you, wasn't it? I've always wanted to ask about her, but whenever I do, it hurts Papa. With a pained expression, he would go silent and look down, as if gazing at the world too shattered to pick off the ground. All I knew was the day we commemorated her death was the same as my birthday. My 10th birthday coincides with the 10th anniversary of her death. In other words, she had died on the same day I was born. Mother's stories ended where mine began. A face I did not know, but one I've always longed to touch and behold. Sometimes I want to imagine her face coming alive, laughing when reading something funny, or crying when she's reading something sad. But I can't. Because to me, she doesn't have a face. Even Papa is afraid her face is fading from his mind's eye. For me, though, Mother did not exist as a person. Having never known her, she was nothing more than a nebulous concept, a vague warmth that I couldn't give form to, no matter how much I wished to. The only form of connection I had with her were these books. Why? Why won't you tell me anything, Papa? I heave a heavy sigh. It's about time I call it a day. I'll sleep here tonight as well. Sometimes I wonder if the blankets and pillows here see more use than the ones in my actual bedroom. Extinguishing the nearby candles, I retreat under my covers and stare up at the dark ceiling. I guess Callie was right about me being a book-inhaling brain slug. With a little chuckle, I boop an imaginary Callie on the nose before shutting my eyes to the world. Raid! What the hell? Welcome on in, Raiders! You timed that just as, like, the most emotional part ended. Are you kidding me? Thank you! Also, Flock coming in will bring Lego Justice. Are you... What a raid! Also, Ferdoc, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the archives. The membership's at the front desk. Hello. How's it going? How you doing, Raiders? How was your stream, Act 2? What were you doing today? Welcome on in. We don't bring justice. Oh, but it says you bring justice. You bring Lego justice. Yeah. How was the stream today? We bring chaos. You know what? Valid. Welcome on in either way. We were a lot of fun. We were playing Lego City Undercover. Ooh, how interesting. Ah, cat's come back. Cat has timed it as soon as you raided to come back to my room. Sorry. Oh, Dan Culver, it's a mod. Colv's a mod everywhere. Colv is literally a mod, no matter where you go. I'm not good at my job. Nah, you're great at your job. What do you mean, Actu? But yes, to anyone who's just joined my stream, hello, hi, howdy. My name's Paldi Acula, head librarian and resident witch of the Archives, a library that's based in the Void. I didn't do comfy streams, cozy streams even. Productive ones. I like playing games that make people remember their childhood, and I like doing storytelling games, and this is one of the storytelling ones, because I like reading. So this is just nothing but reading. He's not an Actu, so that's a rare one, I guess. I mean, he still advertised Actu's stream. I like suffering that good. Do not suffer.
Cute.
That Pav! Thank you so much for the 5 months. For the thank you for the sub for 5 months. Jesus Christ, you didn't have to, but I'm really grateful. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a wonderful day, Pav. So yeah, I'm a police and casually stole some emeralds, crashed into a lot of civilian cars. Hey, that's just part of the job, man. It's just part of the job. You've done well. Yes, I know, buddy. I'm a mod of Actus. Oh, you're one of Actus mods. It's a pleasure to meet you, either way. I hope you have a wonderful time here, and thank you so much for your service to our dear Actu. My cheeks, no. Doesn't sound like police. About to start, hopefully it's good. I hope you have a good... I hope it goes well, Pav. Pleasure to meet you as well. Yay. Sorry, I've got a cat that's currently wanting affection, so I'm giving it to him. I won't be going on for too much longer. I'm going to probably finish this next little section of the story, and then I'm probably going to end myself. How's the stream going, cute pal? Well, first of all, I'm not cute, you are. Second of all, it's going pretty well. Reading is hard, but I'm getting better at it the more I do it. I might have to pause a moment just to go feed a cat. So if you give me, like, 1 or 2 moments just to go and do that. Mod equals bully permission. Fair. We all know you're cute. Incorrect. I'll be back a moment. Take care of the shelf for me for a second. Because I need to go feed my, my little kitty cat. Okay, sorted. Also, ensemble reason's amazing. Aw, thank you. Back in one. Sorry, I needed to feed my cat, otherwise he's gonna waste away. I think it was this one I used. Yes, this one. Yay. Back to the story. So, yes. So we're playing, well not, I'm playing, we're reading a visual novel called Fallstreak, which is a linear visual novel set in a fantasy world. This is what really inspired me to, like, how my writing changed from how it used to be, which was just very much literal. This did this. This means this. This da da. This turned my writing from doing that into something a little more whimsical and a little more thought-provoking to myself. So I enjoy this quite a bit. And also the graphics are really cool. But yes. I like narrating, as you can probably tell. Anyway. Okay. A certain restlessness always pervades the air in the day of school before the weekend. Also, I give you a rose back, Act 2. I give you a rose back. But today was even livelier than usual. Crack. Smash. Yay! Bridge breaking! My bridge finally broke. You're not supposed to want your bridge to break, Dobby. Looks like we have our last two contestants. Adelise and the Lyric twins. Yippee. That's a pretty gutsy design, Edie. Suspension bridges are tricky to build. Guess you've done your fair share of research too. Indeed, though the tension cable and suspension bridge utilized were known for their highly efficient weight to load bearing ratio, working with them have been a great source of headache throughout the day. Looks like you went with the truss bridge. A pretty safe choice for the risk-taking Lyric twins. It's all about the fundamentals when it comes to this kind of thing. It's already clear at this point who the winners will be. Wonder what kind of prize we'll be receiving. You sure you want to declare victory so prematurely? It'll make your upcoming loss sting much more, you know. Just as the two of us square off and start laying down the trash talk, Trish suddenly belches loudly, completely ruining the mood. Oh, Trish. Could you be any more uncool? In the final stage, we will simultaneously add weights to each bridge at a regular interval until we get to the last bridge standing. Are the finalists ready? The class cheers as the promised time arrives at last. Let's do this. Me and Trish will be the ones to take home the win today. The only thing you'll be taking home is the remnants of your truss. Who will be the one to claim today's special prize? Will it be the plucky Lyric twins or the cunning Adelise? The time has come to determine the winner of today's bridge construction contest. This is it, the final showdown. The three of us watch over our bridges intently as intimidating new masses are added to their already bulging payloads. Also, I completely forgot to say this. Yeah, if anybody from Act 2's chat needs to go eat, sleep, get something to drink, take care of your pets, take over a government, go get whatever's needed done, go do that first and then feel free to come back. I'm so sorry, I should have said that earlier. So hello. Hi Pepnum, how's it going? How you doing? Yes. Each time they successfully withstand the mounting pressure of baths. Oh, no. I can't read. Sorry, good. I'm glad to hear that, Pepnum. Each time they successfully withstand the mounting pressure of our breaths of the relief resounding through the tense Each time they successfully withstand the mounting pressure, our breaths of relief resounds through the tense classroom, which had fallen unnervingly silent compared to its previous commotion. What the hell is English? Also, hi Raya, thank you so much for the head pat. Thank you. How's it going? How you doing? Welcome on in, Raya. And thank you for your care package too, Coco. How's it going? How you doing? Welcome on in, Coco. Methodically, slowly, our bridges are placed under such duress their frames begin to deform from the strain. Time seems to slow to a crawl as a foreboding feeling that the upcoming wait would be the moment of truth grips me. Then, just as the weight in question is added... Oh? Huh? The sound of splittering wood echoes through the air as someone's bridge finally gives up. Shocked silence swelled within the room at that deciding instant. A single voice spoke up. A conclusion has been reached. The winner is... the Lyrit Twins! Yay! Morning, I'll must be lurking while I draw. Your voice is always relaxing. Aw, thank you, Raya. You go get that good drawing done. I fully believe in you. Yes, I hope those drawings go really well for you today. The room explodes in cheers and cries as the declaration of the victor. No, it can't be true. I gaze down in disbelief upon the remnants of my sweet toil. Creation and destruction, such transient beauty. I knew it could have come to this, and yet it still wounds me. With the swagger of an undisputed champion, Kalia utters the ultimate words of victory. Good game, easy! As the decisive winners, would you care to elaborate on your success to the class, Kalia? What do you think was the most important thing to keep in mind in regards to design decisions? If there's one thing that should be the center of focus, it was the rule that all bridges must be under a certain weight limit. Though your bridge really did have a sturdy weight to load-bearing ratio 80, it didn't approach the weight limit that was given for the contest. Welcome back, Fair. I noticed that as well, but it was difficult for me to do anything about it. That's because suspension bridges are tough to reinforce after their first build. It's hard for you to do much with the wiggle room you end up with if it doesn't reach the cap right away. I see. Then can you tell us why you two chose the design that you did? Triss and I decided that a truss bridge was the best design for taking advantage of the limit. Truss bridges are made almost all out of triangles, which are the simplest and strongest shape. Triangles are strong because they're hard to deform. Like, if you push on the corner of a square, you can easily turn it to another shape, like a rhombus, right? But if you put a single diagonal bar inside the square and basically turn it into two triangles, it becomes really hard to change its shape. Also, since triangles are the simplest shape with only 3 sides, it's easy to reinforce a truss bridge. Coming up. Wow. Also, that emote's so cute. Aww. The triangles is indeed a central building block in construction. It appears you are learning much from your father, or turned Lyrit. Or Toon, sorry. Triss did a good job trimming weight off parts we didn't need. We used a lot of smart tricks, like using the smallest amount of glue possible to connect the bridge parts. This was done by using a dab of glue and a binder clip to make sure it attached strongly. At the end of the day, the project was all about milking as much as you could out of the bridge weight limit. Wow, you two make such a good team when you work together. It's definitely why you won. As much as it pains me to concede defeat, I can't deny their groundwork is impressively well thought out. Guess my bridge can handle the suspense. Well played, you two. I'm pretty sure our bridge could hold even more if we wanted to. Perhaps wanting to test her point, Trish reaches out and gingerly wraps the bridge with his knuckle, causing it to instantly collapse. Ah, it broke. Not even close, baby! Edging over to block the scene with her body, Kalia gives Triss a stomp to the foot for good measure as he stands dumbfounded, with his hand still suspended in midair. Somehow I feel really tired all of a sudden. While losing on the cusp of glory makes me somewhat salty, I have to admit their methods were on point. Just goes to show how the value of being taught by someone with experience over simply reading about it in a book. As promised, I will now award you to your prize. With the light movements characteristic to handling something delicate. Mr. Norau unveils something from his valise and lowers it into Tristan's hand. Murmurs of awe could be heard as the class hurriedly crowded around the object in question. This is an ornament hair clip created from the blazing orange feather of the Phoenix oriole, a species thought to have gone extinct since the fire of collapse. It's like it's on fire! Burning up! Mr. Norau always gives the coolest gifts. But while the class went clearly enraptured, one person alone seems detached from the clamour. A person whose reaction you'd expect to be yelling at Triss to let her see it already. But instead, she gazes on wordlessly from a distance. However, Triss doesn't fail to notice this. Taking the feather adornment from his hand, he sidles up to his sister and with an indiscreet motion, clips it onto her hair. What are you doing all of a sudden? But Trish just smiles dumbly in response. Heh. Do you remember, Triss? The bedtime story she once told us. The story of the Rainbow Crow. Without a hint of hesitation, Triss nods. You know, right? Even though it wasn't the truth, she wanted to let us know of a happy ending. That's why we have to... With all we got, we have to. A girl who couldn't take a hold of anything, even as it lay right before her, and a boy who couldn't make his unspoken heart heard. It was a scene that captures the essence of the relationship between the Lyric twins. Just as Callia acted as Triss's voice when he could not voice himself, Triss acted as Callia's hands when she could not reach out. It was a nuanced bond one would never guess at how they were always messing around with each other. We did it, Triss. Don't get too smug, though. This is just the beginning. Smiling faintly, they lightly bump heads to the forehead 5. Not so hard, dummy. Somehow it's really heartwarming. Me too. Ah! Ding, ding, ding. It appears that her enthusiasm to join their forehead 5 session, the Lorona missile has knocked the Lyric twins out of commission. Why don't you ever give Big Sis Lorona forehead 5s? It's not fair. Blub, blub, blub. I think that the answer to that question is self-evident. Sibling love is not something to be underestimated. Callia, Triss, they make me proud. They've come such a long way from the dark place they were in 2 years ago. Alright, class, though it's been an eventful day, it's not over yet. We have quite a bit of cleanup. Let's clean up. Everything has to be squeaky clean if you want to get to the real fun. An air of unrest pervaded the room as students ran about, tidying things up to the best of their ability. But the reason was far from being because everyone was anticipating being let out for the day. Rather, everyone was looking forward to staying as long as they possibly could. Now, the moment you've been waiting for! With Erwina at his side, Mr. Norau gestures over to their iconic valise. Games Day! Everyone shouts out in a chorus as Erwina flips over the valise. A flurry of balloons floods out all at once, blanketing the floors of the school. Not even the ceiling was spared as dozens of helium-filled ones flew into the air. That thing was really living up to its reputation as a whole for another dimension. For today's game, we will be playing a special version of Capture the Flag, inspired by an event yesterday that none shall speak of. This class will be divided into 2 teams of players. Each player will have a balloon tied around their waist that signifies their life. If that balloon pops, such as by an opposing teammate member, you'll be counted as being slain. So if your balloon pops, you slay. After your balloon is popped, you cannot rejoin the game until you return your team base and acquire another balloon from your team's allotted stockpile. The objective is to force the enemy team to deplete their balloon supply while protecting your own. Additionally, each team base will have a special flag that can be captured by the enemy team. A successful capture means the opposing team has popped 10 of the balloons in their stockpile. Is there anything else you'd like to know? What do we get for winning? More raptor
More rapt in attention than any lecture he could ever hope to give, the class screams out in unison. First off, a team will be counted as losing if all the balloons worn and stored on their sides are popped. A losing team must accept a punishment of inhaling helium until their voices become squeaky. Once that is done, the other team gets the exclusive right to dictate what must be voiced during the duration. Everyone quivered at the possibility of being forced to endure such humiliation. Yet at the same time, there was no denying the tantalizing prospect of reveling in the shame of the defeated. I will now announce the teams! After Mr. Narao finished assigning the teams, I quickly survey what we have to work with. On my team, the blue team, were Tristan, Lorona, and Noletta, along with Lemmy and Annabelle. I vote to make AD our team captain. The moment we assemble, Lorona immediately makes that suggestion. Looking around, I see everyone nodding in approval. Leave it to me. I nod back, emboldened by everyone's unwavering confidence in me. Foremost at my thoughts were how to deal with the red team's aces, Kalia and Owena. One might think the team would be an advantage against the armless Kalia and the unseeing Owena, but they would be far from correct. Kalia was an unmatched speed demon that could run circles around us without getting caught, with her mobility allowing her to switch between attacking and defending quickly. The only thing that gated her was that she needed team support to secure objectives. As for Rowena, I was convinced she was a bat or something, because when she got heated up, she moved more like someone who could see an additional dimension rather than nothing. Rowena's physical capabilities were also out of this world, with there being little doubt she could take anyone in a straight one-on-one. That being said, she was the other extreme from Kalia, being able to maneuver around the battlefield too well with her vision impairment. Though her anti-personnel was peerless, she lacked defensive presence in regard to win conditions, like raiding stockpiles and capturing flags, meaning we'll likely find her on base defense. As for our team, we have Triss, a slower but more prudent departure from Kalia, whose aggressive nature and quickness made him ideal for blitzing. Noletta, on the other hand, was a cool-headed and resilient, with her sluggish speed making her more suited to holding down the fort. Lastly, Lorona didn't have any noteworthy strengths of her own, but her aptitude for working as a team was difficult to overstate. She always seemed to have a good nose for covering teammates when they got themselves in a pinch, which made her synergize well with the risk-takers like Triss or Kalia. After breaking down our strengths and weaknesses, I have a bucket hat. After breaking down our strengths and weaknesses, I assembled the strike team of 3 consisting of Lorona, Triss, and me, with Noletta, Annabelle, and Lemmy making up the base team defense team. Buck. Yes. Everyone knows their role, right? Let's get out there and do some damage. Breaking from our huddle with a battle cry, I look over to the red team to see how they are faring. Just to confirm, the balloons are positioned around everyone's lower back, correct? That's right, just give him a nice kick and it should go pop. A toothy grin can be seen on Kalia's face as she warmed up by kicking the air around what would be someone's eye level. Well, that's something to look forward to. Who's ready to win? Turning back to my team, I stretch my hand in the air to rally them. Wee-yah! Morale was already skyrocketing through the roof. Unable to contain our energy any longer, we rush outside to the school building to base up for our upcoming clash. Right, because we have switched to the next scene, I'm going to call it here. Because then we can go to the epic thing of the battle and then continue onwards for our next story time. That and my throat is also hurting from 3.5 hours and I have a little bit to do today. If I wasn't going out today, I would have been sticking down and reading more. But unfortunately, I am actually going out. So we still have quite a bit to go, by the way. We have quite a bit more to go. So if people do like this, I can always switch up my stream tomorrow to read this instead. But yeah, for now, I'm gonna call it here. No story time. Oh no, Azalea! I'm just about to end! Oh my goodness, Azalea, hon. Welcome on in! I'm so sorry. I'm literally just about to end story time with... I legit got... It's gonna do... Ah! It's okay, I was lurking. Aww. I can do more story times. I love doing these. This is kind of the vibe I like. But yeah, no. I'm gonna go raid somebody too, because we need to go raid a cool person in order to keep up appearances, you know? Okay. Okay. Well, if people like this, I will continue. Seriously. Anyway, let's go see. Let's go see Zon. Thank you for the stream and I hope you have a good day. Thank you! I hope you have an amazing day too, Azalea. Let's see, who... Now the people are nice and sleepy, let's go find a way of waking them up. How am I gonna wake you guys up? I know. Actually, Okay, where am I gonna send you to wake you guys up? It's been a while since I've seen Neo. Let's go send you to Neo. He's playing Kingdom Hearts at the moment, so we're gonna wake... Easy way to wake you guys up. But yes. Let's do the raidy things in case you want to do them. The first one is for people who are subs. The second one is for people who aren't. Yes, thank you all for watching. For people who've just joined, thank you so much for joining. For people who've been here the entire time, thank you so much as well. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. Tomorrow's stream is going to be Sims again, but if people wish for me to do this instead, I'd be more than happy to. Because I like reading. If not, then I will definitely postpone this until, like, the next week Wednesday too. Also, quick change of plans. The Saturday stream will be the You Laugh, You Lose, because on Sunday I am doing an impromptu collab again. And I will be streaming it this time. So I hope you'll have fun with that. Yes, until the next time these archives are open, you need but simply to ask. Bara, pronoun, I nos with the. Bye everybody, Hulva, Amicha, I'll see you guys soon.